talked to my parents and probably
us. Or 7 if we include Bo. It's easy because if somebody didn't show up for work, and then
that's right.
Yeah. I mean, the longest
like
it would
literally
be is
for
a weekend.
cheese the other day, it was about 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
True. I mean, with you, we've called you before at 8:48.
Yeah, you have called me at like 8:30, and
so it's 0 up here,
overslept.
0 days. If you're not here, when we expect you to be here, then we're like,
But I mean,
Tyler off today?
You know, the sad reality is there's a lot of older people that, unfortunately don't have a lot of people in their lives.
That was my assumption of the story. She just didn't have anybody alive.
Oof. There's a restaurant in Florida that will accept snakes as currency and give you a free pizza if you bring in one during the Florida Python Challenge. Now, back on July 10th, the Florida Python Challenge kicked off. It's exactly what it sounds like. We've talked about this on Trash before. Annual competition challenges participants to catch Burmese pythons from different locations across Florida. It takes place over 10 days. The winner receives $10,000.
I didn't know Cece's was one of the locations.
Now, last year, the Taylor Stanberry became the first female winner as she removed 60 pythons from the competition areas. However, it's just not the $10,000 top prize. It's up for grabs. If you're hungry, you want to eat what you've caught, then a local pizza restaurant is happy to abide. They will take the pythons as payment as well.
Oh, wow.
Did y'all do while I was going the story about the snakes that got loose in China? Or is that AI?
That's AI.
Are you sure?
I didn't see that one.
No, there was a snake refuge that flooded and a bunch of...
those cobras got out.
It's cobras, yeah.
Yeah, so real quick, this is Wild Man's Pizza and Pasta. That's the owner there on the left. They do toppings that include python and iguana on the pizza.
Hey, zoom in on that pizza, Tyler. That pizza doesn't look too bad, but when you tell me it's got those kind of exotic meats on there, I don't know. I kind of like the look of that pizza.
The pizza looks great.
Yeah.
There's a place in Panama City that used to do a shark pizza.
No.
Yeah, but you don't want shark.
Did you get a necklace to go with it? One of the teeth?
I did not, although I was probably at the age where shark tooth necklaces
I used to have
were cool.
shark tooth necklace. Alvin's Island.
Alvin's Island.
Yeah.
Now this, I'm a thin crust guy, but this looks delicious for whatever reason.
I like the look of that pizza. Yeah.
Looks very messy.
Hey, so asked in the chat, and I've answered, so I want you guys to tell me what you think the answer is here. Steven, who on the show would you not wanting to be in charge of making sure you're okay after several days of being no contact? So in other words, you're in this old lady situation in the tub. Who on the show would you not want to be in charge of making sure you're okay?
I think I would be a good person because I'll beat Lance to the punch here. I think I'm in everybody else's business anyway, so I'd make sure everybody was okay. I would not want it would be between one of you two. I would say it depends on if it's a weekday, I would trust Lance. If it's a weekend, Lance is going to be locked into a good movie or the Rams. But if it's a weekday, I would trust Lance to check on me.
Yeah.
No, I would check on any of you guys weekday. Again, the weekend, like every now and then we'll have a text thread, but I don't think any of us talk to anybody else.
Not really, not much on the weekend. No, I self-owned. I said it's me. I'm the one on the show you would not want to depend on checking on you if you're in a bathtub and I can't get in touch with you.
Didn't you just say it'd be like 3 or 4 days if you were trying to get in touch with your parents?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I gave them 3 days.
Yeah.
Next round shirts, next round hoodies, and next round hats are all in one place. Nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting Nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at Nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from Nextround.store.
When you trust a doctor with your life, they owe you proper care. If medical negligence left you or a loved one injured, you deserve answers and compensation. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys have recovered over $2 billion for their clients harmed by medical errors, misdiagnoses, and surgical mistakes. They fight hospitals and insurance companies so you can focus on healing. Don't wait. Medical malpractice cases have strict deadlines in Alabama. Call Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We're going to get to college football really quickly here in the first segment. We got a big announcement coming up today and tomorrow on the show. Brown, tell everybody what's happening to start hour 2, 11 Eastern, 10 Central today.
An event we've been involved in for several years that we all enjoy, Ballin in Boutwell.
Love that event.
Down at Boutwell Auditorium. It's preseason basketball, but Alabama and Auburn have been involved. Last year, Auburn played Oklahoma State. Alabama played Florida State. They were very entertaining games. And it's gotten to the point where big-name teams come play in this. And we're going to unveil Auburn's opponent today for Ballin and Boutwell, which is coming up in October. And we'll give you all the details, and you'll be able to buy tickets. So Auburn's opponent today. What?
I just hate – I have this quirky personality that I'm nervous that Scott's going to punch the wrong graphic up.
Of all the people I trust, Scott Forster's at the top of the list.
I would agree.
To not screw this one up. And Alabama's opponent tomorrow in the 10 o'clock hour. So Auburn today and Alabama's opponent tomorrow. I can tell you, we all know the opponents. Both recognizable big-name programs.
Yeah, even if they weren't, that atmosphere, the intimate.
So fun.
Yeah, just the way they lay out Boutwell, the energy involved in that event, it was really, really incredible. And everybody that I knew that went as spectators thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm sure they're going to be back. You know, Forrester, as far as the graphic, it's almost like I've never understood how people, after John Daly drinks a pint of vodka, they let him hit a drive out of their mouth. Like, I would let Scotty Scheffler do it, though. You know?
I would trust Scotty.
Forrester is our Scheffler.
That's right.
Like, I would let Scheffler hit a drive out of my mouth.
Yeah, easy hand.
Listen, I'd be just
I appreciate your belief,
Yeah,
Lance.
sure.
I would be just as nervous if you were walking up to the edge of a cliff, too. I'd be afraid you were going to fall over the cliff.
God, don't fall.
Similar consequences here, right?
I was going to say, this is his expertise. This is his space.
But sometimes, you know, wires can get crossed, buttons don't work properly. I'm not saying it would be a Forrester mistake. It could be a technical mistake. Things happen like that.
I don't always throw perfect games.
That's right.
Did Tyler just leave?
Yeah, he's on his way to soccer.
His once in a lifetime has become a twice in 2 weeks.
The intern is back.
Yeah, Cheese is back with us. Cheese, so Tyler just bailed, right? Tyler's going to the soccer game?
He's out of here.
We trained you for 2 days, and now you. This is the way it works. This is the way it started with Tyler, actually.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what's going to happen. In 8 days, he has gone over to Mercedes-Benz to see Argentina twice now. This one against England, probably a much more massive ticket than against Egypt. You know, in 15 years, his daughter's going to be, let's go 25. His daughter's going to be getting married.
Yeah.
He's going to be sending her ass to the courthouse, or he's going to be like, hey, no beer and wine.
That's right.
We'll
do this on a budget.
Cash bar, and she's going to wonder why. Because he didn't put those thousands and thousands of dollars towards his 401k. Instead, he wanted to take it over to see another soccer match.
He told me he still doesn't even have a ticket yet.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's waiting for the prices to drop, but he's going to do that on the drive to Atlanta.
That's the. By the way, it's good to be shopping for tickets while you're driving on I-20 from Birmingham to Atlanta on some of the craziest. The good chance you'll run into construction and rain today.
And ironically, he could get a ticket on his way to get a ticket.
2 tickets.
Yeah, a couple of $100 more. Well, good luck, Tyler. He's on his way to watch what is being called the biggest soccer match in English history.
Well, Tyler told me that.
I don't know how it could be because they have won a World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, so like, how does it get bigger than that?
That's a good point.
I was drinking my strawberries and cream out of a bottle in 1966.
I get it.
Some people say, Tyler told me, some people are calling this the game of the century in soccer.
Wow.
Now again, it's a semifinal game.
Is Corso going to put a helmet on?
I don't know. I mean, all of a sudden, I'm like, well, I guess I need to watch this.
Hand me that musket.
Oh, I am super
You're all
excited.
in?
I'm all in on this one. You know, a lot of people thought yesterday's game was boring, and I was wrong on France. Like, you know, Tyler, I come in and he's like, I told you France wasn't going to be able to do it. Look, that Spain defense, I've never seen anything like it. Like, they've given up 1 goal this entire tournament. They've won 37 consecutive competitive games.
Yeah.
And it's no flash. It's just they bait you in. Now, Tyler's not here to argue this. That stupid penalty kick. And I know it's in the rules, and you guys, I'm sure, saw it. But when they got behind the 8 ball, and you're behind the 8 ball against Spain 1-0, 1-0, but that's inadvertent. Like, the guy's trying to the Spaniard's not even making a play. He's trying to engage in the kick. Like the ball hits him in the shoulder. Did you guys see this?
I did. No, I saw it 100%. Yeah.
And like
the French guy basically kicks him in the junk.
But it's an inadvertent
but it was
kick.
inadvertent. Yeah.
Like he's going for that. Like I don't understand how you don't look at that and you're like, that's inadvertent. Like we're not going to give you a penalty kick. That is such a massive moment in that game that changed everything.
Yeah, I would. If Tyler was here, he would say you are charged with controlling your legs in this game like you are the stick in hockey.
Seems really hard.
Yeah.
Like on the sliding.
I don't mean to hit you with my stick in the head.
Yeah.
If you are skating by and you get bumped and you're down here, but if I hit you in the head with a stick, it's going to be a high sticking penalty on me in hockey.
I mean, Brown, how he is actually the French guy is looking one completely different way. And he comes in, and you can tell, like, he's not even trying to body it. Normally, you body it to control it.
Yeah.
He just runs in, not even looking. And for him to inadvertently kick him, like, it just makes no sense. And in a penalty kick, I mean, what is that rate? It's an NBA free throw.
Yeah. It's almost a college football extra point.
Yeah. I mean, the guy for the United States was 2 for 2, wasn't he? The guy that kicks him for us.
Yeah, that was what was crazy. Messi actually missed one last week against Egypt.
Yeah.
I was just happy, though, to see Mbappe out of this thing. That guy's completely unlikable. I don't know how anybody, like, I know we got Messi fans and Ronaldo fans. I don't know how anybody's a fan of that guy. And I don't like France wearing the collared shirt like they're playing in a golf tournament. I thought that was a terrible look, too.
That's a classic look.
Hate that look. Do they do that all the time?
That's the way soccer jerseys, kits used to look back in the old days.
Okay. So that's a throwback?
It's a throwback, yeah.
That was a weird look.
Basically, you just said you don't like Penn State's white helmets and Alabama's numeral helmets.
I do like those. Yeah.
By the way, so La Rojo beat Le Bleu yesterday. 6 clean sheets to LT's point. That means a shutout.
Yeah.
They call them clean sheets, I guess. 7 matches, 6 shutouts. That's a pretty good run for Spain. Argentina, England today, 3 Eastern, 2 Central. I told Brownie I sort of want to go to walk-ons to enjoy the match today around other people. I know LT's going to go to a British pub. It just seems like an afternoon to watch this match. So
what's the start time? 2?
3 Eastern, 2 Central.
2 Central?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just looking at England's history. I mean, they were in the semis in 2018.
Yeah, so you're saying this is overstated to say it's the biggest game in English history.
I think it is.
Now, but it's a rivalry game. This is
well, and maybe because of the rematch from '66 and all of the history that goes into it.
And Messi, I mean, you're playing who a lot of people say is the best player to have ever done it.
And you could be the one to send him off into the sunset.
That's right. He never plays another World Cup game after this. So, I mean, I could see it being game of the century, maybe not biggest game in.
Yeah, but they did win a cup in '66, so I don't know how it's bigger.
I mean, it's kind of like
a lot of TV coverage in '66.
That's like if the Jets were in the AFC Championship game under Rex Ryan a few years ago with Mark Sanchez. That's like saying that's the biggest game in Jets history.
But can I ask a dumb sounding question though? In 2011, which game felt bigger, LSU at Alabama or Alabama LSU in New Orleans?
LSU at Alabama.
I know. That was the regular season game.
Yeah. Not national championship game.
Yeah, but it felt bigger, right?
But Dunaway made this point, maybe it was yesterday or 2 days ago, like realistically, Alabama probably was the best team that year, but they shouldn't have had to play them twice.
They shouldn't, but they did.
So
and
I think
one
that
of them
lost a lot of luster.
One of them was for the national championship, and one of them was just basically for the SEC West.
But I do remember in New Orleans, it did feel big.
It felt huge.
There were so many people there, you couldn't walk on the sidewalks. You were having to walk in streets that were not closed. You were dodging cars.
But which one do we call the game of the century?
The one in
Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. Football game of the century. Soccer game of the century.
Right. But that's my point. Like you're talking about, well, look, they face this, and this, but sometimes the circumstances determine it being the biggest game. It's not necessarily the fact that it's in the finals. It's the fact that you're playing Messi, that you're playing Argentina, all those things.
Yeah, and Messi's potentially final game.
Probably so.
A lot of people forget that they have a third-place game that will be coming up on Saturday. France will play the loser of this. Does anybody care about that?
How would you want to go out and play that?
Yeah, I'd forgotten that even existed until I saw it on Twitter last night. Somebody's like, how do they even do a consolation?
Boy, that is tough.
If this was college football, Mbappe would be checking out of the Cheez-It Bowl. He'd be like, no, thank you. I'm not going to play this game.
I bet the majority of our listeners don't realize the Final Four used to do this.
I do remember.
I remember the NIT used to do it too.
Oh, they did.
Didn't Alabama have to play in one time?
And they had lost to somebody like St. Peter's or some no-name team.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm flying the flag again today. Like if the Rams would have had to play the Broncos, for a third place trophy, I mean, there would be like no passion at all. And I watch preseason all the time.
You say that. You'd have been watching. You'd be watching.
I think for France, much like for Rams fans last year, like you think you're the best team, and to lose like that, how you even get up to go play for a bronze
Now, when is that
medal?
game?
It's Saturday.
It's Saturday, and then the championship
It's got its own
game.
day. It's got its own day.
Is it in New York as well?
I would think so.
Yeah, I
yes.
think so.
Wow. So you even have to go to the site where they're
I
actually.
know.
I mean, because you're probably looking around like they're while you're getting ready to play, they're putting up the championship stuff, or they're putting up England's name and all that. You're like,
North Dakota State fans will probably show up thinking, "Hey, it's the game before the big game.
That's right. We're supposed to be at this.
here winning a
go
championship."
Bison.
All right, so World Cup today. Enjoy that.
I never
should be
realized.
fun.
By the way, I don't think Spain's ever won a World Cup, have they?
I
Don't think so. I think we discovered that when we were making them college football teams. I think those were that was one of the ones.
And now they're going to be favored. I
Are
mean,
they?
yeah. I mean, like England's a slight favorite today, but if they play England, based on the fact that what they saw yesterday, yeah, they'll be favored.
Hey, All-Star game last night. Shutout. Spain was obviously pitching for the American Leaguers last night. They struck out 15 National Leaguers.
You'll love this. I had 2 plays yesterday. I had France and I had the National League.
Oh, wow.
So, no runs, no goals.
Yeah, you saw some boring losses.
She's giving me Forrester's microphone because it's the year of the White Sox. Not only has Forrester gone to a home game in Chicago at Rate Field, his White Sox had the only home run last night. Tell me about it, Forrester.
That's right, Miguel Vargas.
It was a
Launched
bomb,
one
too.
to left. Yeah, he smoked it. That's 2 games in a row since he hit one at the game that I was at.
Ironically, Vargas did not come through Birmingham in the White Sox organization, where the only other 2 White Sox that hit home runs in the World Series, Frank Thomas and Miguel Ordonez, both came through. Maglio.
Yeah.
We called him
Miguel.
We called him Miggy.
Back in the city.
Yeah, at the Met. Both of them, Ordonez and the Big Hurt, came through Birmingham with the Barons. Vargas did not. Vargas came up through what organization?
The
Tampa Bay Rays.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Nope, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I was going to say the Dodgers because they've
Dodgers.
had. Yeah.
And who did they get? Who did the Dodgers want from the White Sox to give up Vargas and a bunch of other people?
So LT, he came over in the Michael Kopech trade last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look back
think
at
the
some
White
of
Sox
these.
have done a little bit better in that trade.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the
That's
Dodgers
like,
are okay though.
I was listening to Buster this morning talk about Tariq Skubal and where he's going to go, and the Rays are in the mix, Dodgers are in the mix, the Braves are in the mix. But they were talking about just how deep the Rays farm system is right now. And that's one of those things, like on the surface, you're like, I will take Skubal. Like when healthy, he's a top 5 starter. But then what you give up on the back end in like 3 or 4 years, you're like, how in the hell did we give that up?
As a Tampa Bay Rays fan, I will tell you that we, in the first round, have drafted a shortstop for what seems like the last 7 years.
Well, I think this
In
is
the
the
first
year
round.
of the shortstop, by the way.
Shortstop,
as far as being drafted.
Yeah. We drafted another one this year. Every one of them. Now, the one we thought was going to be
Now,
a franchise shortstop.
So you play one and trade 6 is basically what you're
I've
saying,
always
right?
said, man, the way I would recruit in college baseball is I would recruit the shortstop because, normally it's the best athlete on the field. He can play a lot of positions.
Yeah,
play
that's the thing. They move them around. Some of these guys will end up playing third, some of them second, if they don't stick at shortstop.
Move on to the outfield. Okay,
Thank you. Talk to me like I'm a 7-year-old Rays fan. Thank
Well,
you,
I didn't
Scott.
think about it. I was saying trade them all. Hey, by the way, if you hate,
We do trade them a lot. We trade a lot of them.
I know y'all do. If you hate the Phillies, which I'm sure a lot of Braves fans around here do, and some other National Leagues fans,
Are you about to say what I have written down right here?
I don't know what you've got written down, but boy, you had to enjoy All-Star Weekend because Schwarber gets beat in the finals by a Cardinal in the home run derby, and then the National League gets blanked right there in front of all those Phillies fans.
I thought you were going to go. They believe this could be the year Mike Trout waives his no trade clause and goes and helps the Phillies back to his
really?
hometown. Yeah, he was not as harsh in saying no. I'm an angel. He didn't say I'm an angel for life, basically, but they were asking him in his hometown of Philly.
I would love that. Like, I really enjoy, Brown, seeing Kobe Bryant play for the Lakers his entire career. It would be very respectable for a guy like Trout to do it, but you want to see Trout playing some meaningful games.
I know.
Right.
I thought Trout from Jersey.
Well, I mean, it's a suburb.
Yeah.
I mean,
seriously,
it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, Forrester, you live in a world where the Chicago Bears are going to play in Indiana now.
That's a good point.
So I can call Trout being from Philadelphia. It's across the state line there in Jersey. Rock Hill. What's that outside of Charlotte?
That's it. Rock Hill, South Carolina.
South Carolina. That's a suburb of Charlotte.
But I mean, if I'm Trout, I understand what you're saying, Lance. I appreciate the loyalty there, but have the Angels done enough around me?
No.
I mean,
no.
That guy has played his tail off for the Angels. What have the Angels done for him?
Well, they went out and got your guy from the Nats.
Yeah, how did that work out?
It did not work
Anthony
out.
Rendon. That was a terrible signing.
Yep.
And they're way out of it. I mean, I'm just looking.
Shohei for a good bit.
Yeah, where's he now?
Yeah, didn't work out.
Basically, the guy we're going to look back is going to be the greatest Major League Baseball player of all time. At some point, Ohtani could be that. You decided I don't want to hold on to him.
That's right. And by the way, he didn't go across the country. He went across the street
and got nothing from him on the trade market. Right? You kept him until he became a free agent.
Yeah. So I mean, if I'm Trout, I'm like, I've done all I can do. So let me go win a championship. I wouldn't blame him one bit.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. So that's baseball. Hope you enjoyed the All-Star break. By the way, you Braves fans out there, 13 games better this year than you were this time last year as you start the second half of the year. We'll see if you end up getting Skubal or if he goes somewhere else in the big trade deadline. We'll see if Trout moves somewhere. But baseball, taking a day off for soccer and some college football conversation after we tell you about our friends at Hoover Toyota LT.
Yeah, again, I am a satisfied customer. Speaking from experience, I have purchased multiple Toyotas over the last couple of years. I got my daughter that RAV, Christmas of 2024. I went in this past October and got a Land Cruiser, absolutely loving it. They're going to roll the red carpet out for you. They've been doing this program for more than 2 decades, not only in Birmingham, Alabaster, Vestavia as well. Get in, see Scott Peoples and that incredible staff, conveniently located Highway 150 in Hoover. You can always go online, learn more about the on-site finance department, the parts and service, and just their incredible inventory, new or used, right there at hoovertoyota.com.
And we'll do the college football spotlight right here, presented by our friends Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorney, Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. That's where you go for any legal issue you have. It's the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. They do a tremendous job. They've recovered more than $2 billion for their clients. They can do the same for you. $2 billion with a B. That's incredible. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Everything from personal injury, which you're aware of, but fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, workers' compensation, a host of other claims. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com.
1,238 shows. We're winding down the final few shows with these original dry erase boards.
Well, they've served us well.
Yeah. This sumbitch has got tape.
Oh,
on
yeah,
it.
we've had to tape the corners back on.
3. It's got one corner still original, but
So I mean, we invested, I want to say it was 4 digits. I think it was $11.47 on this, but for 1,238 shows. Some of my favorite use in these dry erase boards, drawing our upset alerts on Tuesdays.
That's right. Yep.
I look forward to that again this year. But right now, on the other side of these dry erase boards in our spotlight today, coaches in their first year in their programs of college football.
Oh, I got this wrong.
No, you didn't?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was coaches that have never been to a college football playoff for the first time.
None of mine have.
Yeah, I think this list would still work.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is not my coaches. This is not their first year. I've got 2 guys at their first year program, but the other 3 have been at their programs for a while.
Okay.
So I'll just do mine differently.
LT's list will be slightly different than ours.
Yes, the alternate list.
Brooks, if you're watching this at Next Round Live, LT's list will be slightly different.
I would think
for your graphic later on, he will give you an updated list.
I can do that. I would think that we're going to have a ton of duplication already, but if you do it that way, I would think really a lot.
Yeah, ranking them 1 with the most likely to take your first year team to the playoffs, 2, 3, 4, 5. You only go 5 deep. Brownie?
Well, I still need number 5. I am torn on number 5.
Well, let me go first.
You go first.
Well, do you want to change mine? I can change mine when you guys are doing it.
Well, you can change it. You be third and change yours. Here's mine. I'm going to put my graphic right here. I'm going to go Lane Kiffin number 1. Oohs and ahs. Nobody likes Lane Kiffin. But they've got a lot. I'm going to go Golding 2. You got the triplets. You got a good quarterback, good running back, and I'm sure a good wide receiver. Now I'm going to get maybe your choice, Brownie, at 4 or 5. I went Heartline at South Florida and Scally at Utah here to be a little different here because
I don't hate that.
SEC team, one of them making the playoffs. Then I went group of 6. Maybe Heartline could get the Bulls there. Scally, Big 12 champions, Utah with a quarterback back. And then I went Whittingham at Michigan. A lot of outside noise with the stuff going on with that athletic program, but they still have a quarterback. If Whittingham can get right, good run game, talented defense, strong offensive line. So I go Kiffin most likely to be a first-year coach at a program to get to the playoffs. Then I go Golding, and then I get a little wild down here. Brownie, how do you do yours?
I'm going to go Lane Kiffin right here at the top. Now, with that said, I'm not saying Lane Kiffin will be in the playoffs. I want to be abundantly clear about that. I'm just saying with the resources they've got, with the way he has spent on this roster, with the quarterback, Lane Kiffin should be expected to be in the playoffs this year. I know it's year one. That should be the expectation, though. I got Matt Campbell at Penn State. We've talked often about, first of all, Rocco Beck. We're a Rocco Beck respecter show. I think Lance likes him more than the rest of us. But we at least respect him. With that schedule, I think Penn State can be right in the hunt for a spot out of the Big Ten. My Power 5 guy at number 3 is Charles Huff.
Oh, I love that. I almost went his route.
Yeah, Charles Huff at Memphis. Somebody's going out of the Power 5 now. Their problem is they play at Boise. We talked about it yesterday. They could get behind the Boise 8 ball with a loss up there.
Or they could get ahead of the Boise 8 ball.
Could, with a win. If they get a win against Boise, they got a good shot. I like Kyle Whittingham as well, and I threw in Pete Golding at number 5.
Yeah, guy only got on the list with playoff wins. Might as
Yeah,
well throw him in there.
again, a lot of duplication.
Yeah.
Our 1, 2, and 5 are exactly the same. I mean, Kiffin, the expectation is there. Matt Campbell, the schedule, the 16 transfers coming in from Iowa State. Morgan Scalley's on your list. I think Utah's going to be really good. I don't think they miss a beat. I've got John Summerall. I know we love him, but, the way Florida could flip if they went 10-2. And then Golding, the schedule's just too difficult. And just for reference, I had, believe it or not, Dave Doran
At
NC State.
Okay.
Wow.
Tony Elliott and Kalani Sitake, and then I had Campbell and Kiffin.
Yeah, Sitake, arguably co-favorite virtually in the Big 12 this year.
But I do think the winner of Week 0 between Dave Doran and Tony Elliott, I think they're going to have a really, really good chance of playing for the ACC championship.
So a little college football there as we have a lot of things going on. Speaking of the ACC, NC State, Virginia, they start Week 0, 46 days away from now in our Innisfree countdown to kickoff, 46 days. Your game day tradition is Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Lakeview. Irish-inspired pub food, that signature Irish gold sauce, and always a world-class atmosphere. Innisfree, 46 days to NC State, Virginia. Winner gets a leg up in the ACC race. And, we could get to the end and they have a tie to see who plays in the ACC championship game like they had last year, and some confusion. Well, the fine folks at the ACC, ahead of their media days, which starts tomorrow, they came up with a new tiebreaker. And by the way, it's going to look a lot like, tiebreakers in other conferences.
All right.
It's the way it should look. Here it is. The ACC has announced a new football championship tiebreaker. Head-to-head results will always matter most. No team will be overly rewarded or penalized based on the number of conference games it's played. Remember, some ACC teams are playing 9, some are playing 8. When head-to-head competition cannot separate tied teams, the team with the strongest overall body of work will earn the opportunity to compete in the ACC championship and the conference's automatic qualifier in the college football playoff.
Okay, well, is that subjective, the strongest body of work? I mean, how do we...
They're using, I've actually read this.
Yeah, that gets you to the headline of the story.
That's right. They're using Sport Source. And before you're like, why would you use Sport Source? That's the same analytics service that the college football playoff uses. So basically you're saying we'll use the same analytics that the college football playoff is using because ultimately we're trying to get the best team we can in the college football playoffs.
Yeah, so basically they want their championship game winner to produce a team that is worthy of the playoffs. So no longer would Miami be out and still make the playoffs. They're trying to have, not be embarrassed like they were last year.
I would assume that the Big 12 is still the only media that does not release a preseason rankings.
They do not. The Big 12
I know they don't, but the ACC does. If somebody doesn't have a problem with Mario Cristobal, I would think that this would be unanimous this year.
Oh, I would agree. It's Miami, gap.
Probably SMU 2.
That's where I would go.
Yeah.
Probably just based on history, Clemson 3, but I think Virginia and NC State, I think you'll see some Pitt. I
Louisville?
think you'll see some Louisville.
You'll get some Virginia Tech love just because of James Franklin.
Well, he did bring a bunch of Penn State players with
But
him.
would you guys agree SMU will be number 2?
I think so, yeah.
That's who I would
They
put
have some
number
general
2.
consensus.
Let's do that tomorrow.
What?
Let's do our media vote let's do all the conferences tomorrow.
So we just predict order of finish?
Yeah.
Can we just do top 5? Do we have to do the whole conference?
I don't know if we got room on those boards.
I can't write
These
that
damn
far.
conferences have gotten big.
I know. We're going to need the bigger whiteboards.
Yeah, I
And we'd already agreed.
Let's do the whole conference. It'd be better for a Brooks graphic. We'll do the whole conferences. Let's do the ACC and the Big 12 tomorrow. We'll do the SEC and the Big 10 on Friday.
Okay.
Is that good?
By all means.
All right.
I'll need a reminder.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
But, I mean, don't you think – I used to say this, like, why do you go – I used to say this in the BCS days. Now, the college football playoffs are a little bit different, but in the BCS days, I'm like, why do you go so deep in these tiebreakers? Put the team that's highest ranked in the BCS poll in the championship game.
That benefits you guys.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to get a team to win the national championship.
Yeah.
I mean, the ACC should know this more than anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a champion not go to the college football
That's
playoff
right,
last
yeah.
year.
It should be two things, right? Head-to-head.
That's right. And if we don't have that.
Yeah, then the highest rated team by whatever source you want to use.
You know, now back in the SEC, they all played head-to-head in the division. But when there was a 3-way division tie, I'm like, if you can't break it on your first tiebreaker, I would get to the BCS rankings very quickly.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you wanted back in the SEC days is the SEC West team that had 3 losses but got hot in conference play. All of a sudden, they're playing in your conference championship, and a legit national championship contender gets left out.
Yeah.
Now, the college football playoff's a little bit different, but to Lance's point, the team that lost in the national championship game last year was not even in the playoffs up until the last day.
Yeah, and a lot of conversation about something that's about to go away. By the way, we're not going to have the conference championship games pretty soon, and we're worried about all these tiebreakers. But I'm with you. But most of the conferences did not want an outside source deciding who was in their playoff game. They wanted to have their own tiebreakers to where it was decided in the home office.
But this is how dumb college football is, though, Jim. And I you're saying exactly that was the feedback I got on that was, well, the conferences don't want to allow an outside source to determine who plays in our conference championship game. And I'm like, well, you let the outside source determine who plays in the national championship game.
That's right.
I mean, why are you worried about the conference championship?
All right, so that's a little college football to get going. We'll get to our 40-40 team today. It'll be first team from we've done one SEC team already, right, with Vandy?
Yeah.
This will be our first Big Ten team coming up a little bit later on to make the rankings that you guys vote on. So that's coming up in our 40-40, and then we'll do the big unveil to start hour number 2 at 10 Central, 11 Eastern, where we tell you who's going to play Auburn in the Ballin in Boutwell again this year. And then Stephen Pearl will join the show at 10:30 today, Central Time, halfway through hour number 2, to talk about his opponent and his Ballin in Boutwell experience from last year. All that as we roll on today on the show that's being brought to you by Lance's Lock. Lance's Lock, by the way, Sporsher, I was equally as nervous that I was going to let the cat out of the bag right then, too, just with my tongue. Not a graphic, not punching anything. But I got through it without unveiling who Auburn's playing, right?
Man.
Yeah,
you
it
did.
couldn't be worse than we were yesterday. 0-2. We had the National League at 0 runs. We had the wrong side. We had France, 0 goals yesterday, but we bounced back with a winner in Argentina, England. Jump on board, win with us. We'll be back Major League Baseball this weekend after the All-Star break. Free play every single day at lanceslock.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham's trust since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling. Any of these issues arise, home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
The insurance company called. They offered you a settlement. Sounds good, right? Wrong. They're counting on you not knowing what your case is really worth. They're betting you take pennies on the dollar because you're scared and overwhelmed. Don't fall for it. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys has recovered over $2 billion for going to war with insurance companies that try this every single day. Call 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Free consultation. You pay nothing unless they win.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champies is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champies for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champies Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champieschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000.
Remember the name
That's
Way to Wellness
205-969-3000.
if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation
Stop by the New York Butcher
is
Shop
free
and pick up
at
the
Way to
finest in
Wellness.
certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Boy, that Michigan situation with Warden Manuel got a little bit worse yesterday. As things leak out from the $11.5 million investigation. First off, the law firm that did the investigation, I guess because of Freedom of Information Act, there's no hard copy of the investigation. They gave a oral presentation.
Yeah, I've read that is the trick in this, is that you hire an outside law firm to do it, and then the people that are in the legal field are going to laugh at me as I try to explain this, from my point of view here, but because of attorney-client privilege, privileged information, things like that, it makes it much easier for the school to redact things that they don't want out.
That's right. Because of the Freedom of Information and
that's right.
being a state institution, you got to turn it over.
Yeah, no,
right?
that's under attorney. That's our client. We can't.
Do
turn
most
it over.
people think he's going to survive? I know we talked about it yesterday. I don't think there's any chance.
I think the odds are he's done.
And one of the things that leaked out yesterday was that Warden Manuel, according to reports, the AD actually told Shunnarah Moore a year before he was fired that he has to stop traveling with the female staff member that ended up being part of the incident that got Shunnarah Moore fired. A year ahead of time was told to stop traveling with her. And then you have Chris Partridge, the former assistant coach who's suing them for millions of dollars, that said Warden Manuel knew about the sign stealing and was actively part of covering up the sign stealing that was going on.
It's amazing. The only person that makes out here is the Shiver woman.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she's going to get millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, the last thing they want is her talking. Yeah.
So that's interesting. I wonder, Brownie and LT, if Michigan will take a third swing at someone from the state of Alabama. If you go back to last December, they were very interested in Alabama football coach Kalen DeBoer. Swing and a miss. And then when Dusty May went, one of the hot names that were mentioned for the Michigan job was Nate Oats. Swing and a miss. Not going to coach the Maize and Blue.
I think the name you're about to mention, I think there's a possibility here.
Now, there's very few athletic directors. If you're doing a short list of best athletic directors in the business, Greg Byrne's name will get on that list pretty quickly, and they're looking for an AD. I wonder if Michigan will try to go to Tuscaloosa one more time and hire somebody away from that athletic department. It would be a good time to be Greg Byrne's agent. I'll put it that way.
Oh, yeah, I would agree. I mean, Ward Manuel, now this is a guy that was basically 4 decades in Ann Arbor, but he was making $2.6 million. So, I think the number starts there. Maybe, Byrne could get $3 million a year. If they call, I don't know. I'm sure Greg likes Tuscaloosa.
I think he very much likes Tuscaloosa.
But I think it would be very intriguing based on the fact it is one of the best, and I'm not saying Alabama's not, one of the best athletic programs, and there's a good chance you're going to be hiring football and basketball in the next couple of years.
But do you want that? I mean, you say there's a good chance you're going to do that, and I agree that is the case. But
if you like challenges.
But this is the same guy that and I was talking about this at lunch yesterday, or after I played golf yesterday with my group. Interesting story, by the way, I need to tell you guys from a guy I played with. Not fit. He even told me it's not fit for your show, but Greg Byrne got to hire the guy after Nick Saban. And as we were talking about in this conversation yesterday, literally hired a guy that had just coached in the national championship game. Like, he couldn't get the guy that just won the national championship game because he was going to the NFL. You weren't going to get him either way, but either way, he was going to the NFL. So you hired the guy that just played him, and you got killed for it. And you've been getting killed for it. I mean, that was literally one of the best hires on paper you could have made. So,
and that might be a reason that he wants to leave.
Maybe so, but
and
now
I'm not saying he does. I have no knowledge.
That's right.
But now I got to go do that at Michigan. Like, I got to go through that whole process again where I got to scan the country.
But the difference is you're going to be following up.
That is a huge difference. Yeah. But be Greg Byrne, take the Michigan job, and I tell you, all right, you're Michigan, you got to go hire a head coach now. You go hire who?
Kalen DeBoer.
I mean, do you think there's part of Greg Byrne that's like, God, can I do this to the guy again, or do I still have the right guy? All right, take Kalen DeBoer off the table. You go hire who? You're hiring the Michigan coach. Let's take Greg Byrne off the table. You're the next Michigan AD, Lance Taylor.
No, I'm going Brian Kelly.
You're going Brian Kelly.
Oh, I wouldn't touch him with the 10-foot pole.
You're Michigan.
I don't know. I would go Kalen DeBoer.
Okay,
if
take him off the table.
I would rather have Kalen DeBoer, but I don't think Kalen DeBoer already had the opportunity for that job.
Yeah.
All right. So you
timing to work out. It could work out next time.
Take him off the table. Though.
I could be 8-4 and not in the playoffs.
Right. Oh, and So you're going to sell the Michigan fans on. I'm going to go get the guy that failed at Alabama.
Yeah.
That's a tough sell.
It would be pretty easy to me. First of all, he's a guy that's not going to be hanging out with a female staff member on a plane. I'm not going to have to warn him a year in advance not to do that.
You're right about that.
He's a guy that's not going to steal signs. So hey, he's not going to take his shirt off and climb a tree.
Take Greg Byrne.
So I'm doing a lot easier replacing your group of coaches you've had at Michigan compared to following up Nick Saban.
He's off the table. You're Jim Dunaway, Michigan AD. You're hiring who?
It's harder after that.
Doesn't it, though?
Oh, it does.
And that's the problem with...
But it's a low bar. I mean,
you still take...
He's done the toughest job he's ever had to
That's absolutely right.
That is absolutely still can take shots at guys like Dan Lanning.
You could.
Now, whether or not
I think he'd say no, but you could. Yeah.
But you never know.
Yeah. I mean, I would ask Dan Lanning, and I think if I'm Dan Lanning, wouldn't you stay at Oregon?
I would stay at Oregon, but John Summerall's another guy. If he has a little success at Florida, I'd make a run.
But there again, why, if I'm successful at Florida, do I take the Michigan job?
Yeah. I don't know if that feels like a fit for me.
I kind of agree.
Yeah. How about Brian Hartline if he's decent at South Florida?
I don't know.
Would they hire an Ohio State guy?
That's tough. That's tough.
I mean, he's not just a former Ohio State coach. He's a former Ohio State player.
Elko's another guy I would look at. Now, would he leave A&M? I don't know.
Yeah. See, that's where you get
wants a Notre Dame job. That's always the report.
See, that's where this coach hiring is going to be so difficult in the world we live in college football right now, because You know who the absolute hottest name for almost any coaching job would be right now is Curt Cignetti. Why leave Indiana?
Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm saying that.
Oh, and he wouldn't.
He wouldn't. But why
At his
would
age,
you?
no way.
Why would you leave Indiana?
Yeah.
Now, we've never lived in a world where if you have any modicum of success at Indiana, you're not clawing the walls to get out of the place. But now we live in a world where he's got all the resources he needs at Indiana. He controls his schedule at a conference very well in Indiana. He's got a path to the playoffs any year at Indiana.
But there are people.
Drinkwitz would get a look. I mean, I wouldn't be excited if I'm a Michigan
that's a hard
fan.
sell if I'm a
but he's
Michigan
got
fan.
that pompous. I mean, he fits Michigan. He does. He does.
You're calling casting.
Yeah.
You're casting a role for a movie. Who looks like a Michigan coach?
Yeah.
Eli Drinkwitz.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but if I'm a Michigan fan, that doesn't.
I think Jed Fish would get a look.
I don't know if Greg Byrne will even get a call or whatever, or if he ever even wants to ever leave Alabama. He may want to retire there. But I know he's one of the best ADs in the sport. And the Michigan job, the same reason, if I'm Kalen DeBoer, I would listen to Michigan. If I'm Nate Oats, I listen to Michigan. NIL, not a problem at Michigan.
You don't perceive that it is, no.
We don't really have to do a whole lot of fundraising at Michigan. It raises for itself. There's enough alums there with money that it's a lot easier to do your job there.
But
that's why it's such an attractive position, no matter which role you have, whether you're the AD, football, or basketball coach.
Let me ask you this: though. If it's that attractive, why did their football hire? Why was it Sharon Moore, and why was their basketball hire Mike Boynton?
Well, I would say that's why it's one of a list of 18 reasons why this AD, who doesn't know whether or not he's going to be retained, he said yesterday, I don't know if I'm going to still be the AD at Michigan. Well, I think the world knows you're not going to be once they gavel that thing in on Thursday.
And you're not earning your money. I mean, those are lazy hires from and Boynton might be great.
Well, he may be, but I mean, I doubt you scanned the college basketball landscape and said, you know who my best option is? Mike Boynton, who's already on this staff right now.
Yeah, I would say, in my opinion, because of where the roster was, you go Boynton right now. You give him a 2-year contract where you have to fire him at the end of the year. He gets another year's salary. Thank you for doing the job for us this year. We'll write you a good resume and out, and you hire whoever the new AD is, hires the next coach at Michigan. And then the football, you were sort of, your hands were tied because Harbaugh leaves after a national championship, but he also had been suspended in some big games, and Sharon Moore had won those games as the interim head coach, and he cried on television.
Yeah, acted like a fool afterwards.
I mean, he cried on television. He loved Michigan. It was hard not to hire him.
Such a bad hire.
It was, but it was hard not to. It was like when Rich Rod left West Virginia.
Yeah.
They hired that old boy that won the Fiesta Bowl.
Bill Stewart, they got caught up in the excitement. And
that was some piss hammer boosters.
It was.
I mean, literally.
And they listened to their players, which you can never do when you have a coaching opening. You never listen to the team. The team's always going to want the guy that was already there that they played for. You never listen to that. I agree. Michigan seems like a great athletic program, but they sure do find themselves in a lot of trouble, and they've made some weird hires lately. So maybe there's a little something under the surface we don't account for.
Before we do our 40 and 40, let me tell you about Urology Centers of Alabama, UCA. They've been taking care of Alabamians for 70 years, the great compassionate care, great urologists there. They've got 10 wonderful locations here in central Alabama, so one that's convenient for you. Find the nearest location and see everything they offer to take care of you at urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com for both men and women. But they've got a whole men's health center dedicated just for you guys out there, whether it's ED, testosterone treatment, all sorts of urological need, from prostate health to kidney stones. They take care of it at Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com. And our 40 and 40 always brought to you by Hoover Toyota LT.
Yeah, again, if you're in the market for new or pre-owned car, truck, SUV, our friends at Hoover Toyota, they can help you out. Best inventory. That on-site finance department is fantastic. Stop in, see Scott Peoples, all the fine folks there. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, hoovertoyota.com.
All right, Forrester, we're counting down. Today we go to number 33. We filled up the bottom line. This week we've gone TCU, Boise at 34, at 33 to the Big Ten. Illinois, no offense to Nebraska. We've already had a Big Ten team at 40. My bad.
Oops.
Still forget they're in the Big Ten. Illinois is in at 33. feels to me like the window closed on Brett Bielema there in Champaign.
Well, you look back last year, and I watched this up close and personal when USC got beat on a final drive there in Champaign. I mean, Luke Altmaier was a really, really good quarterback for the Illini. Hank Beatty was one of the best unknown wide receivers who's now on playing in the league on Sundays. You lose both of those guys. But Bielema, 18-19 his first 3 years in Champaign, 19-7 his last 2 years. 9+ wins at Illinois. I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, that's a big-time mark in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. At a place like Illinois, especially. Like, I did not anticipate this from Brett Bielema. I don't know what you guys thought when Brett Bielema took the Illinois job. I just kind of felt like
I didn't think he would recapture what he did at Wisconsin.
I really didn't either, and he's pretty close to having done that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's done a good job, but, I mean, Wisconsin – I think we forget. I think he had 2 or 3 11-win teams. He won Rose Bowls.
Yeah, won the Rose Bowl. Won the champ. did he win a championship?
Oh yeah, he won a Big Ten. He would have been in. I'm not exaggerating. Now we can go back and look. I think he would have been in 3 12-team playoffs.
I would believe that without going back and looking. I would believe that. Now, one year I do think he went to the Rose Bowl when somebody was on probation. I think probation got him there, but still, I mean that's
you've never liked Bielema, have you?
I mean, I thought it was a weird move for him to go to Arkansas. Now, some of that was he didn't like working for Barry Alvarez, which was obviously difficult because Gary Anderson had the job for just a heartbeat, and he left.
I don't think anybody liked.
So I don't think anybody liked working for Alvarez,
except Alvarez.
So little Jim Dunaway in it. Luke Altmaier gone. So Caton Hauser comes in. What does Brett Bielema think of his new quarterback?
He's probably unlike anybody else. He's probably the biggest quarterback I've ever had. I think that's the one thing that shocks people when you see him is just that he's really a big kid. He's got a very, a lot of people you hear players talk about it. He gets rid of the ball very quickly. So I think that in our system, it was something that was okay with Luke, where I could see that could be a very big, very, very big part of our offense with Caton. Arm-wise, he probably reminds me talent-wise of he's got the ability to make all the throws. But I don't know if there isn't anybody that jumps out to me in comparable. He's his own kind of unique guy. It's been a lot of fun to be around him.
6'3", 225. Is that big?
I mean,
it's not small.
It's not small, and he can move.
Bigger. Yeah.
This is a guy at 13 rushing touchdowns the last couple of years. I'm not a huge fan. I think it's a downgrade, but. We'll see how it translates. Started at Michigan State, so he is familiar with the conference. Then went to East Carolina, put up good numbers, didn't turn the football over. He is a mobile guy for that size. Defense, I think, is going to have to carry Illinois. It's been a little shaky the last couple of years, but Bobby Hauck, you guys remember the Montana coach who had a lot of success, is your defensive coordinator there. And when I look at the schedule, I do think if everything broke right, they could be 10-2 just based on the fact that it's not the most difficult Big Ten schedule out there.
You would have them losing at Ohio State week 4 and then coming off their bye with a loss at home to Oregon.
I think they could really be 5-1 going into that bye against Oregon, and then you see what happens.
Yeah. You'll get to see Illinois very early in the season. Well, late, very early in the season because it's an 8 o'clock Central kick time. But they do play UAB on that first Thursday night, which if you scan the Thursday night schedule this year, it ain't great. That's at least 2 helmets you'll recognize on the field together.
And who did Mort upset last year in his first game?
Memphis, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Did they beat Memphis?
It was somebody was ranked, right? Or very close to it.
Maybe so.
It was Memphis. Yeah. You're right.
This would be shocking.
This would be a stunner right here.
Yeah. I don't think
this UAB and then have to play Ohio State later on. Then have to play Duke. Okay.
Yeah, but I do think those are the only 2 non-winnable games. Other games that will be tough. At Maryland, Nebraska, Duke will be tough week 2 at Northwestern. But I think this team's probably 8-4, and just right off of what they did last year, but not as good of a team.
Who'd they beat? They beat an SEC team in the bowl last year.
South Carolina. Remember that was when he and Beamer had a disagreement. They got it all sorted out, but there was the disagreement between he and Beamer.
Yeah.
And he kept slow substituting and all that stuff.
Remember how amazed we were that Bielema was married to Jen Bielema? I met her at a blackjack table in Vegas, and then we saw those pictures where he's shirtless, just holding a drink. It looked like he was at maybe Spinnaker or Lavila.
Yeah.
But they're still together.
Still together.
You don't see much of her, though.
No.
She used to be pretty visible, and now you just It's kind of behind the scenes now.
It was Dan Mullen's wife that would kiss the guys on the cheek
That's
as they got
correct.
off the bus, correct?
Yep, that is correct. Yeah,
Not
she
her.
used to do that.
I used to get them confused.
I don't know how.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't either.
Just saying, there's not a lot.
That's our 40 and 40 team brought to you by HooverToyota.com. Today, 33 is Illinois. We'll go to number 32 tomorrow. And the countdown that's voted on by you, the fans, now for 17 years. We appreciate you guys doing that in our countdown. SEC Media Days, by the way, coming up on Monday. Our coverage from Tampa. On Monday, we'll have 2 locations working in Tampa and here in Birmingham. So it should be a ton of fun next week as we do that. And by the way, mark your calendar. It's always interesting, right? The first day the AP poll comes out, the first AP poll, the first meaningful poll that comes out, not that ours is not meaningful, 40 and 40, but the AP poll comes out at noon Eastern, 11 Central on August the 17th. August 17th. So mark your calendar. We'll have
We're a month away.
An instant reaction to the first AP poll as it drops. That hour of the show, we'll react to who's too high, who's too low, who are we sleeping on, who are we overreacting to.
And we've asked the question, will there be a record number of teams receiving first place votes in this poll? And I think we determined 7. Was it 6 was the number to beat?
I think it's
so
6.
7 would get, I think 7 would get us there.
You right now.
Well, you look that up. Let me do Way to Wellness, and then let's name the teams that's going to get a vote. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. If you've decided to take a vote in your house, hey, who needs to lose weight? It's you, Dad. You can do it. Aplanforme.com. Aplanforme.com. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. No contracts, no sign-up fees. The first consultation is free with Leslie and her board-certified team. Go and check them out right there at Way to Wellness. As I said, no contracts and no sign-up fees. Injection therapy, they've got it. Meal replacement, protein bars to prevent bad snacking, and 100,000 other different ways to help you lose weight. It's our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
For sure, 6, maybe 7.
That's how many we'll get. What's the record? Did you see the record?
I think it's 6.
6, okay.
So for sure, Indiana will get a vote.
Yes.
I mean, undefeated.
Yeah.
27 wins over last
Somebody will
year.
vote for them, I agree.
Miami will get a vote.
I think so.
Oregon will get a vote.
Yep.
Yes.
Ohio State will get a vote.
Uh-huh.
Notre Dame will get a vote.
Uh-huh.
Texas will get a vote. That's 6. And then I think your 7th possibly could be Georgia.
Yeah. You don't think LSU will get any?
I do not.
No.
I don't think they deserve them.
Yeah,
I
don't think they
don't.
will.
I think 6 is the number, LT.
Yeah. But would you guys agree that Georgia would be that 7th team?
Yeah. If anybody is getting another one, I'm just thinking through my head, who else? Yeah.
I mean, Ole Miss has got no shot.
Yeah.
Texas Tech, A&M, Alabama, BYU, Oklahoma, Utah, USC, Michigan. None of those teams are.
Yeah.
6 probably is the number, but I would not be surprised it's 7. Because you could have some rogue. I mean,
you don't have a lot of rogue AP voters.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know who they'd buy into. Like, I'm looking at our list. Would somebody buy into Matt Campbell at Penn State and look at that schedule and say, I don't think so.
But I think you could buy into Georgia. I mean, I look at Georgia's schedule. I think they're going 11-1, and it's just amazing how we sleep on Kirby. Like, I've seen these rankings, and I've seen people talk about that Georgia's done. But the last couple of years, I mean, really extenuating circumstances. You lose Carson Beck 2 years ago. They would have beaten Notre Dame, in my opinion, who played for the national championship. And then last year, if Lane Kiffin is coaching Ole Miss, he beats Ole Miss.
By the way,
you're probably right. No, you're probably right.
And we'll get to our basketball conversation coming up at the top of the hour with yet-to-be-named coach who will join us live to unveil the Ballin and Boutwell. But Ole Miss athletic director Keith Carter, speaking of Ole Miss, says that they could end up suing 2 former players who left Ole Miss to go to LSU because they're still waiting on buyout payments from those players. The deal is with the players. One of them is Prince Will. I never say his last name right.
Mom and Leon
and Devin Harper.
Mm-hmm.
They have unpaid buyouts that they're contractually obligated to pay. This is the side of NIL that we don't talk about. Now, oftentimes, you work out a deal with the school you're going to that they would pay you out of the other deal. That's the way I would do it if I was skipping schools. But Ole Miss right now is still waiting on. One of the guys is $1 million, and the other one is reported to be a significant amount.
You know, and I saw people saying, boy, this is petty by Ole Miss. It's only because it's LSU. And I'm like, no, this is the way adults deal with adults. And if you're going to sign a deal like this, guess what? You're an adult. And if you agree to make a payment if you leave a school, an adult makes that payment. So, I mean, if you want to be a professional athlete and get paid, you're going to have to be treated like a professional athlete. This is the way it works.
I agree 1,000,000%.
Yeah. I don't blame Keith Carter at all.
And I would say this, that to clear up what I just said, it totals about $1 million from the Clarion Ledger, who's reporting this. $590,000 for Princewell, $407,000 for Harper.
That's not nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, $1 million this day and age is important.
It could help your NIL for the next guy that you've got in there to have to pay for.
They were probably counting on that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. That is our number one of the show. When we come back, we will unveil Auburn's opponent for Ballin and Boutwell. Basketball season, the first game that counts, is 109 days away. So we're counting down to college basketball. It'll be here before you know it. And we'll talk a little basketball when we come back on the other side. The show today being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. That's Greg from Pell City. Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg will hop on that roof, climb that ladder, get on that roof for a free, no-cost roof inspection. 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531. That's Greg's cell number. He'll give you that free no-cost roof inspection. He does storm damage repairs, roof replacements, and so much more. He and his wife, Andrea, own the company, locally owned for over 20 years. It is Storm Restoration Roofing. Let him take care of you. Storm Restoration Roofing or Greg from Pell City on Facebook.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Facing time for a crime, huh? Got a list of charges looming over your head? 5-0 got your back up against the wall. Them alphabet boys trying to sit you down on that rack. Well, have no fear. The People's Defender is here. Attorney J.B. Brown, powered by Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorney. He meticulously investigates every case and challenges evidence. Dedicated to protecting the rights and futures of individuals facing criminal charges. Hit him up now at thepeoplesdefender.com. Thepeoplesdefender.com.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 2 starts right now with a lot of fun. We're getting ready for basketball season. As I said, 109 days to the first real game tips off, and we've got a great tradition that goes on here in Birmingham, Alabama every year.
Yeah, the historic Boutwell Auditorium Coliseum, Ballin in Boutwell, presented by Nike and Hibbett. We've been involved every year. We really do enjoy this event. It is all going to start Tuesday, October 13th, 7 o'clock Central. Samford will take on Alabama A&M down at Boutwell Auditorium. You can get tickets to any of these games at Ticketmaster and ballininboutwell.com, ballininboutwell.com, Samford, Alabama A&M. Then a doubleheader Wednesday, noon Central Time tip, Wednesday, October 14th, for the Auburn women against UCF. So Auburn and Central Florida will play the noon tip there. And then that night, Auburn's men's basketball team back in action again. Auburn will take on a yet-to-be-named opponent, but their head coach is about to join us, and we are going to unveil this. The Auburn Tigers, Wednesday, October 14th, 7 o'clock, will take on the Florida State Seminoles.
Oh.
And their head coach, Loucks. We can call him friend of the program because we met him before doing the Bama game, Bama-Florida State last year. And he was very nice to us. And we talked to him for about 10 minutes. And, Coach, that makes you friend of the program forever. So it's good to see you again, Coach. How you been, man?
I'm doing great, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. Definitely a friend of the program. You guys were awesome to chat with. I was unhappy that we lost to Alabama last year, but it was a heck of a game, a heck of an event. I think they were trying to do an all SEC event this upcoming year, and I was calling the promoters almost every day, like, guys, we got to get back in. Alabama, Auburn, I don't care who the opponent is, but we wanted to play in it again. So I'm thrilled. I'm excited to go back to the Boutwell. What a cool event, man. The history of the place, and I enjoy playing good basketball games. It would probably be a problem if I didn't, but the atmosphere, I thought it was great for our guys to go in someone's backyard and play when 95% of the crowd is the opponents. And I thought, that game against Alabama helped us. So I'm super excited to play against Auburn. I actually just ran into Stephen Pearl in Vegas a few days ago out at NBA Summer League. We're represented by the same agent. So we ran into each other. It was my first time talking with him, and we had kind of, I guess you'd say, similar seasons in the sense that both first-time young head coaches. Both of us had some real ups and downs, but to watch them, take off at the end of the year and win the NIT was pretty cool. And so we got talking about coming up this season and playing against each other, and we're both super excited about it.
I was going to start somewhere really, really random. So just follow me for a second. The World Cup. I don't know if you're watching any of this, but you coached in the Olympics, the 2021 national Nigerian team. You look at all these coaches, like, the U.S. coach, he's an Argentinian. So, you get all these national coaches that take over these different countries. I just wanted to ask you what that experience is like and how difficult is that as far as, coaching is universal, but language barrier and culture and all of the different fits. So how was the experience and how difficult is that?
It was an incredible experience. I was one of Mike Brown's assistants for the Nigerian team, but to go through that the weeks leading up to the Olympics, we ended up playing USA in an exhibition game and beat them. It was the first time an African country's ever beat the USA team, which was interesting for us. You look across and it was like Popovich, Steve Kerr, Ty Lue, all these guys we coach against, but that's kind of Mike Brown's tree, right? So he's going against basically the godfather of basketball and Greg Popovich. And then we both worked under Steve Kerr in Golden State. And on the team, Steph Curry was on the team, LeBron, KD, a bunch of guys we've either coached with or coached against in the NBA. So to upset them in that game was incredible. But what a cool experience, man. And the Nigerian team, we had a lot of Nigerian Americans. They were born in Nigeria, had Nigerian passports and parents that were born in Nigeria. But the majority of those guys played in the NBA when we coached them. So there wasn't much of a language barrier. The cool part of it after the Olympics, it was about 6 weeks after, we actually went and coached in the African Championships in Rwanda, which was unbelievable. I've never been to Africa, but to go to Kigali, Rwanda, and coach in the African Championships was so cool too. But that whole experience, I mean, I still run into a lot of those guys, just on the circuit and playing in the NBA. But we had such a good time, man, and what an honor to coach at that stage.
When you're at the NBA Summer League, what are you looking for out there? And with the eligibility rules right now, are guys going to get a fifth year? Do you know about that yet? Are you able to play in the Summer League and come back to college? Where are we with that, Coach, right now?
Yeah, well, there's been a couple of players that played this past year in the NCAA that have played in Summer League. So I think that Pandora's box has been opened a little bit. I think there's still a lot of confusion with what the rules actually are. But I go out there for a couple of reasons. One, there's a EYBL. Nike puts on a big youth tournament in Vegas. So we got to scout some of the best high school players in the country in the few days leading up to Summer League. And then two, to obviously support the guys that have played for Florida State that are playing in Summer League. And the last reason, but probably the most important reason for me, we throw an event every year, a dinner, a get together of all the former players, coaches, staff that work at the professional level. So we had a really good turnout, and going all the way back to like Sam Cassell showed up, a lot of former players that played and obviously now he's a big time assistant in the NBA. A lot of our NBA guys showed up. But what a cool time to bring everyone together and celebrate their success. And then lastly, just every agent in the world is there. So, a lot of meetings with agents, whether it be international agents, local agents, with all the big agencies that, they control all the players. So you have to keep those relationships alive. So it was a really tiring, not a lot of sleep, but a very productive 4 nights in Vegas. And then I got to convince my wife to drop the kids off at my parents and come spend 2 nights out there and have some free time without the kids too. So altogether, a really good experience out there.
That was a win. Yeah. Loucks is with us. My wife and I just went to Vegas back in spring break, and there's never a lack of things to do in Vegas. You can always find something.
That's right. That's right.
I try to convince him to keep pumping extra oxygen into our studio like they do in the casinos. I think that would help the show tremendously.
Coach is with us because Auburn and Florida State will play Ballin and Boutwell Wednesday, October 14th, 7 o'clock Central Time. Ticketmaster or ballinandboutwell.com. We just unveiled Auburn's opponent will unveil Alabama's tomorrow. Florida State played Alabama in this event last year, and Coach just told you how fun that event is for the players. It is that fun for the fans, too. Such an intimate setting there. Ballinandboutwell.com or Ticketmaster, Wednesday, October 14th, 7 o'clock Central, Auburn and Florida State. All of your coaching experience prior to our buddy Michael Alford hiring you at your alma mater was in the NBA or the NBA G League. And there were so many coaches. You're 36, and Dusty May just said, I've got one of the best jobs in the country. I am out. I'm going to the NBA. Why does a 36-year-old say, with all the challenges facing college basketball right now, I'm not going to stick in the NBA. I'm going to go to college basketball? I mean, why do you make that decision when you're already in the NBA where a lot of guys are striving to get, it seems?
Yeah, it's a great question. I ask myself that every day. First and foremost, I think, you mentioned Michael Alford. He took a chance on me before anyone else would. I mean, I was 35 when he hired me. a huge amount of respect and appreciation of him and the administration and the board and the president, all of them, for having foresight of kind of where the college game's going. For me, this is probably one of the only college jobs I would have taken. I was in a really good spot, under Mike Brown in Sacramento, and probably would have gone with him to the Knicks. But it was a place where I really care about. I played here back in the day. My wife swam here. She was an athlete at Florida State. I grew up a Florida State fan. Obviously the job that Leonard Hamilton did was incredible. And it's a really tough guy to replace with how well he did at Florida State over the last 20 plus years. But you could also see the trajectory, that the program was in a tough spot, and we haven't been in the tournament since, basically COVID, with all those teams. There were unbelievable teams and tons of NBA players and Elite Eights and Sweet 16s and ACC championships. But I cared deeply about Florida State, and if I can do one thing, and I told the AD and the president this, is just come here and help this program progress to this new era of college basketball. And we had some catch up to do, but it's been incredible, very, very rewarding to be back in Tallahassee. So many relationships that some were revived very quickly, and some I maintained throughout my journey as a professional player and a professional coach in the NBA. But I'm so motivated to get this program back to the level I know it can operate at, and that's the biggest reason. I just have a great, deep passion for Florida State athletics, and I knew where we were and where we want to go is not too far away. You can flip things very quickly in this environment, but part of it comes with finances. Obviously fundraising, I kind of knew what I was getting into. Part of that comes with the administration support, which I have their main. So obviously we got to get football to a level where we can compete, but I have a lot of support from the administration. But then lastly, coming from the NBA and the way we're recruiting right now, my big goal is to get as many players into Florida State that can make that transition to becoming professional athletes as possible. And that's the way we built our staff. That's the way we run our program. And so we're super excited about that. And what did we spill here? Was that water?
That was Lance. Lance spilled water.
See, that's a great part of a 3-man show. See, he can clean up the water, and I'm dialed into everything you're saying.
I was dialed into
I heard the answer.
I can multitask, Coach. I was going to ask you, just because you brought up your mentor, Mike Brown, multiple times, what an incredible run from the Knicks. Did you miss a minute of that? And Game 4 of the NBA Finals, how the Spurs blow a 29-point lead? Like, what were you thinking watching that? How exciting was it to see your mentor, after all of those years, win an NBA ring as a head coach?
Incredible. So rewarding. It was a little challenging for me. I coached 3 of San Antonio's players in Sacramento. I was very close with De'Aaron Fox. Harrison Barnes played with us. So I obviously wanted those guys to do well, but half of the Knicks staff was with us in Sacramento, and obviously Mike Brown has had a huge influence on a lot of guys that have coached under him. His coaching tree is incredible for how young he is. But to see, the dynamic of obviously getting let go in Sacramento when I was on staff with them to 1 year later winning an NBA title was awesome, man. And knowing that there's not a better guy in sports with the way he treats people and the way he coaches his players and mentors guys. But ultimately, I mean, he's won, I think, 4 titles as an assistant, but to watch him win one as the main guy, it was so rewarding. I mean, we were locked into every game. My wife and I flew up for Game 3 in New York. That was the only game they lost. And he's like, "Luke, I love you, but you can't come to any more games." So we were locked in, and to watch some of those comebacks were incredible.
You were an all-county quarterback in high school. Did you ever dream of playing football for the Seminoles when you were little? And do you remember the hardest hit you ever took as a quarterback? Do you remember the play? Do you remember the person that maybe turned the lights out on you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I did. I grew up, man. My dad played football. I grew up loving football. I still do. I love football. Love watching our guys play. I'm a big Bucks fan, so love watching them too. You know, I was probably a little bit better at football growing up, but man, it was so hot out there, man. I couldn't wait to get in the gym and AC. But enjoyed playing. Played all the way through high school. Had a good run, and I do remember. Well, I remember some of it. I was knocked unconscious. I was a little bit like the high school version of Brett Favre. I would just sit in the pocket and sling it, and I had no regard for if there was pressure. I loved like just waiting as long as I could to find the right option to throw to, and so I was, as a result of that, I got beat up pretty good. But I got blindsided by a guy the end of my junior year, and I was knocked unconscious, and I came to my senses probably 10, 15 seconds later and tried to stay in the game. And I was very fortunate that we had a good medical staff. It's like, yeah, you can't play anymore. You're concussed. But I just remember seeing a guy open across the field on a deep post route. And it completed the pass too, but I got lit up and probably lost some brain cells in the process. But what a fun time and enjoyment to play, you know, in a great, unbelievable league down there in the Tampa Bay area. I mean, every single game we played in that area, you were going against future NFL players. And so we had an okay team. We were like fringy playoff team every year, but I had so much fun out there slinging the pigskin.
A Florida State question that I have really wondered for the last 2 decades. I think you have the credibility to answer this, playing there, now coaching there, but which Florida State grad has had the better career, Prime or Burt Reynolds?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh man, that's
because I just saw a documentary on Burt Reynolds. I don't think people realize, you know, for a moment in time, he was the biggest star in the world.
Yeah, no, he was. Now, I would lean towards Prime just because that's like my generation of childhood watching, you know, obviously his impact on the field and his stardom. People forget, even like the guys I coach now, they don't realize how big he was and what he did, not only football, but then baseball too. And then just like his, you know, personality was bigger than life. Bert, I met him a few times back when I played here. I think probably with his like movie stardom, he might have had a bigger overall successful career, but I would lean towards Prime. Just that was the era I came up with. But Bert, I mean, unbelievable. First of all, unbelievable mustache. I mean, second to none. He's so talented on the field, and then obviously his acting career was special too.
I don't know if you remember this part of the conversation, but it stands out at me when the one time we were with you face to face at Boutwell, Lance mentioned that the only ACC tournament he ever attended was the one Florida State won, right?
Yep, sure was.
And you literally said, if you'll come this year, I'll pay your way. Were you serious about that? Would you have paid Lance's way?
Lance, did you come?
I did not.
So
that's probably the reason we lost to Duke by one. We would have won it. We were right. If you would have come, I think we would have won that game.
Yeah. Okay. I remember watching that Duke game, thinking about that.
So where is the tournament this year in 2027? Is it Greensboro?
In Greensboro.
Okay.
Yeah, Greensboro.
You're in?
Yeah. I'm in. Listen, flights, hotels, I'm in. I don't know if that's legal, but if you guys
everything's legal today.
State, I'm in.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Legal. Hell, there are 3 guys in the summer league you saw last week that may be able to play for you if you want them.
Yeah, everything.
What's legal? What's not legal?
That's right.
Yeah, listen, if it's not legal, we'll find a local judge here in a heartbeat. You know that.
We'll find. Yeah. Alabama, we'll flip someone. We'll find a way.
We'll find a judge.
Let's get you to Greensboro. Let's watch the Knowles win title again.
I will definitely come up. We can work that out for sure.
We can do the show from there.
Hey, let's make the game interesting. If you beat Auburn in the exhibition game at Boutwell, then you pay for Lance's trip to Greensboro. If Auburn beats you, then Lance pays his own way to Greensboro.
Wow. Wait, how did I get drug into this?
Stephen Pearl coming up soon, brother.
Are we? Yeah. How about you have Steven pay your way to the ACC?
That's true.
tournament?
Yeah, we'll see.
They don't play in it.
Okay.
Steven will tell me to go to hell.
I don't think we can legally bet on games.
That's
guys.
true,
We're getting
yeah.
some dicey waters
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
We're gonna work something out. We're gonna get you to Greensboro. Man.
Okay. There you go. All right.
Okay, so your swimmer wife, was she named after Stevie Nicks?
You know, what's funny is her middle name is also Nicole, and her parents claim that she's not. I'm like, guys, what are we talking about? Yeah, she was definitely named after Stevie Nicks.
Okay.
And she, I will say this about her: she is the athlete in the family. She trained. We got 3 kids, and she still has a 6-pack. She trains like a Marine. I don't know what she's training for, but she's gonna win it. But you know, she is an unbelievable athlete, and thanks to God, like our kids got her athleticism, which is really fortunate, because I was a below average athlete that just figured it out.
All right, it is Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, October 14th, down at Boutwell. Ballin and Boutwell.com for tickets. This will sell out. It has every time, and it's a small venue.
I would be shocked if it's not sold out already.
If we don't get the text right now. Ticketmaster or Ballin and Boutwell.com for the tickets to go see Florida State take on the Auburn Tigers, 7 o'clock, Wednesday, October 14th. Coach, it is good to catch up again. We appreciate the time. Enjoy the remainder of the summer, and we'll see you in October here in Birmingham again.
Appreciate you guys.
All right.
See you soon.
Yeah, good talk to you. Take care, Coach. That is Coach Luke Loucks of the Florida State Seminoles with us October 14th, 7 o'clock for that.
Can I make a case that maybe he had the best setup of a Zoom call
it was very
interview
clear.
we've ever had?
Good sound.
It was a good, clean,
That's right.
well-lit, good background. It was a good
I like that guy.
I do too.
We're friends with the Florida State Athletic Director, Michael Alford, who used to work at the University of Alabama, and we all know Michael well. So for Michael's sake, I hope he never loses that guy. But boy, that guy, if he can win.
I mean, 10-8 in conference, 18-15 overall year one, not bad at all, taking over for Leonard Hamilton. I've got more expectation, and not just saying this because he's on the show and we've met him a couple of times.
And he's a good interview, yeah.
He's got, I think there's probably, if I'm a Florida State fan, I'm more optimistic about the next 3 or 4 years in basketball than football.
Oh, I think I would agree.
Closer to being successful in basketball than football.
Yeah,
is your point
right now.
there.
Yeah.
You feel like you have the right guy in charge.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't think many people say that about Mike Norvell.
And if you didn't watch them, he's playing the style that one reason Michael Alford went and hired a guy with NBA experience. Now, he's a Florida State alum, so it was a natural hire. But he's playing that style. He's playing the style that a lot of the colleges are right now, that is more the NBA style. And when he can get his players in there, it should be fun to watch. And as he mentioned, they had Duke against the ropes. And I remember watching that game thinking, how awesome would it have been if Lance had taken him up on that offer and they beat Duke? And it's like, man, this is like Florida State's lucky charm in basketball randomly.
All expenses paid.
I'll
I'd
go to Greensboro.
down.
I've always wanted to go to an ACC
really hard
tournament.
life to go to Greensboro and watch the ACC basketball tournament.
I mean, I'd rather do it in Vegas.
Yeah. Our friend Stephen Pearl will join the show in about 8 minutes. And they're playing in Vegas coming up. Maybe you can talk Stephen and let you go out there in December.
Did you see the start time of that game?
I have not yet.
Tell me it's midnight.
No, I think it's 11 p.m. Central.
Yeah, Alabama played one of those last year at the Arrows.
Yeah. Is that right, Scott? So 11 p.m. Central for that game.
11 o'clock tip-off.
And that's not an exhibition game. That's a game that we're talking exhibition here with Florida State, but that game will count in the standings.
Yeah, 100%. Out of the Eras, one of the 2 Eras tournament going on out there. All right, show being brought to you by New York Butcher Shop. Tell us about New York Butcher.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to get in there Monday night to pick up a couple of those steaks. Hopefully we'll be able to do it in the next couple of days again, from the fresh meat, specialty items, those deli sandwiches you can order right there at the sandwich station. You can have one of their signature sandwiches. You can build your own. They're huge. They're fantastic for lunch or dinner. Also, a great selection of fine wines and desserts. 2 locations, the original Caba Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Get in, see Jim and the incredible staff of Butchers. Tell them the next round sent you. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
Okay, obviously, the game's not sold out yet at the Ballin and Boutwell for Auburn and Florida State. But, Brownie, again, for the people that want it, because we're getting this in the chat room, how do I get tickets? And the Auburn fans are so good that you will want to get the tickets as soon as they become available.
Both nights are going to sell out. I think what was the capacity there, 3,500? It's a very small arena.
I don't think it's 3,500.
It's not even 3,500?
I thought it was closer to 1,800.
Okay. Well, it's a small arena. So,
but again, we're talking facts that we don't know the exact number to, but I had it at 1,800.
Okay. BallinandBoutwell.com. BallinandBoutwell.com or at Ticketmaster. Again, Samford, Alabama A&M is the first game out of the chute Tuesday, October 13th, 7 o'clock. Auburn, Central Florida women Wednesday at noon. Auburn, Florida State men Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, October 14th. BallinandBoutwell.com, Ticketmaster. Alabama will play the Thursday night game. We will unveil their opponent tomorrow during the 10 o'clock hour. They'll be in the Thursday round, though.
All right.
Men's and women's on Thursday for Alabama.
Okay, so tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we'll unveil Alabama's opponent and hopefully catch up with somebody from Alabama, including head coach, maybe Nate Oats at some point there.
Yeah,
before the season starts.
Oh, before the season starts. Yeah, tomorrow's I'll go ahead and tell people. Tomorrow's going to be tricky with Coach Oats. He's got a recruiting trip. He's in the plane while we're on the show, so it may have to be later on.
Yeah. Hey, whenever.
Just as a heads up.
Whenever with Coach Oats.
Just as a heads up to the Alabama.
Always an open invitation with Coach Oats. Stephen Pearl scheduled to be with us in the next segment. When we come back, a little bit more basketball brought to you by 2,500-ish, I'm being told, at Boutwell.
There you go. So I was close.
Right between. You were 3,800, Brown. I was 1,800. I think it's smack dab in the middle.
We were both close. I think they could figure out a way to get 3,800 in there if they tried hard.
When you're wrong?
No.
Okay.
If they tried hard, I think they could.
He does not.
Thank you for jumping in with both feet, Lance. I appreciate that. I already admitted to it. Lance didn't even have to jump in there.
I never think I'm wrong, but I admit it when I am wrong.
Well, here's what my wife says about me.
I've gotten much better at that. I think all guys are like that.
We are.
But I think over the last 3 or 4
years,
years, I've gotten exceptionally good at admitting,
I agree.
boy, I dicked that up.
I agree. Okay. So what my wife says is, she says, I don't know if it's a fault of yours or a good trait of yours. I don't know which. She says, but you say things with such conviction that I just believe they're right without even checking.
Right.
Because of the conviction with which you say them. What?
You are a human Wikipedia.
Well, you know, the old...
I can be edited.
I believe you every time you say it.
Well, I say it with conviction.
You
That's
know,
why.
the old belief that a guy will never stop for directions. Like, I'm past that now. Oh, I will now.
Well, I got ways now. I don't need
you
it.
do. But I'm just saying, like, if they're like, I will pull over, whatever. I'm not going to waste any more time with it. Back in the day, would drive nonstop.
We have a rising freshman here is like, what do you mean stop for directions?
I know.
You've got a phone.
Just use Waze, old man.
Back in the old days.
Old man lingo right there.
Back in the old days, in the 1900s, you had to pull over at a gas station and say, hey, how do I find such and such high school? And they'd have to point you in the right direction. Stephen Pearl on the other side of the show, being brought to you by Michelson Laser Vision LT.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. Make that phone call that I made way back in 2003. I wore the contacts for about a decade. Pain in the ass, taking them out, putting them back in the next morning. Finally went to get screened out. I was a potential candidate, got the procedure done. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. Now I have 20/15 vision, better than 20/20. Make the phone call that I made. Ask for Amy Toa. The next round sent you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
You know, sometimes injury attorneys get a bad rep, being called ambulance chasers, showing up to the accident scene before the EMTs get there. At Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, this ain't that. We get enough cardio. No need to chase ambulances. Look, if you're injured in any type of accident, don't accept a dime from the insurance company. Hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or AlexWins.law.
Call me, Alabama. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champy'schicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com.
Hey, Lance Tiller from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Comes later. All right, we continue on now after we've announced the Ballin and Boutwell opponent for Auburn. It's Florida State. Real games, not exhibition games, tip off in 109 days. And we learned from Loucks when he was on with us that he and Stephen Pearl had a conversation when they were out in Las Vegas together. Of all the basketball coaches we know, Las Vegas with Stephen Pearl seems like that'd be a good time, right? He'd know his way around the city.
Oh, I bet it would have been more fun 15 years ago with him.
Oh, you
yeah. Me too, though. Me too.
You're saying that's true of anyone, that 15 years ago Vegas was always going to be more
before the
fun?
Responsibilities of a kid, of
right.
Vizsla. I think we need to start there.
Yeah, let's start there. Let's
Just
get that
real
one out of the way.
quick. I mean, look, first year, there were a lot of ups and downs, but I would assume when you come home from a tough loss, we'll just say Texas A&M, Nellie's still going to do Zoomies for you. She's still the unconditional love that a Vizsla brings, right? Is Nellie doing well?
I mean, Jim already roasted me on the first tee with the Texas A&M game. Now Lance is going to do it at the opening of the show. So Ryan, I'm not sure when the hell you're going to do it. But can we just get it out? Can we just get it out of the way, please, so we can stop talking about that game?
I've already had my falling out with you elsewhere. We've made up for that, and I'm never going back.
See, I do it on the first tee. Brown likes to do it behind your back.
Didn't know.
At least you're doing it to my face.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I swear I didn't know Dunaway did that on the tee. But I randomly, I could have gone Michigan.
Yeah, Lance was on a European cruise when you were doing that.
A tough life. Somebody's got to live it. Though,
I know. Can't hide money, can you?
Let's not.
No, you cannot hide money.
Let's not bury the question, though. How is Nellie? Seriously,
Nellie's great.
Okay.
Shoot, she's like 6 years old now, and starting to gray in the face a little bit, but still crazy and as energetic as always. And everybody's good. All the girls are good back home. So appreciate you asking.
So you guys are coming back to Ballin and Boutwell, and it's such a unique experience. I only was half joking that it's been announced now for 33 minutes, and it's probably already sold out, knowing the Auburn fans. They love going to see you guys play anywhere. What do you get out of a game like this? What's the benefit of playing a quality opponent like Florida State in an exhibition game like this?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to learn a lot about your group really early in the year. I thought last year playing Oklahoma State, it revealed a lot of the deficiencies that we were a little concerned about, and there were ones that we kind of had to work through throughout the year. But it was great, experience. It was a great experience for us because one, we had to play a talented team. We ended up playing that game into overtime, which last year's team, really did show a lot of fight throughout the year. They fought back from multiple double-digit deficits to push games to overtime. And I thought, while the Bethune-Cookman game, isn't one to really remember, I don't think we win that game had we not played Oklahoma State in Birmingham, because it allowed us an experience of playing an overtime game before we actually had to play an overtime game. So to play a quality opponent, in Florida State, you kind of saw how talented they were last year playing against Alabama. Offensively, they're just, very dynamic and explosive, and Luke did a great job in the transfer portal this year. So they're going to be really good, and it'll be a great experience for us, leading up to the season to, see what we got, but just like with any of these things, you can't overreact one way or another, whether you win the game or lose the game. You just got to take it in stride and learn from it.
And I know nothing about basketball X's and O's. You're well aware of that. But the style that he's playing, I do believe, because his background, like we just talked about, his NBA, it's a style you're facing more and more, is it not? Is that style that they're playing in the NBA that a lot of colleges are playing now?
Yeah, I mean, they play at a really fast tempo. They really spread it. They'll shoot it. So I mean, it's a style that we feel like we kind of brought to the SEC. 8 to 10 years ago when BP got the job at Auburn. So it's not a foreign concept to us, but it's good for us to go against teams like that are going to play at high tempos, because if you look throughout our league, there's a lot of teams that play that way stylistically. So, it'll be a great challenge, early to guard a team that really tries to get down the floor, really spread it. And, I think half of their 3-point attempts last year were from three. So a lot of threes are going to go up, and, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a great game to watch.
So you grew up in this life, so you kind of knew what you were getting into as a head coach. But if you reflect on year one, what was maybe more difficult than you thought it would be?
I get asked that question a lot, and it's really hard to just kind of look back at all the things, because one, everything happens so fast. It's hard to just sit there and just draw one thing out, because every single night you're kind of figuring out 3 or 4 things that, you got to make adjustments to, and you got to kind of grow and get better. And so for me, like, the biggest value of last year was obviously, the repetition every single night, learning more about myself and stylistically how I want to be as a coach, how I want to prepare my team, how I want to coach my team. But I think more than anything, Lance, I learned the type of players that I think I needed to have in my program. I'm so grateful to last year's group, because, they didn't quit, and they kept fighting, and we were able to end the year on somewhat of a high note, considering the circumstances that we put ourselves in. But I think I really, drew to, what do I need to do to surround guys like KO and Tahad in order for us to be successful? So what I learned was what we were missing last year more than anything. Obviously we were missing some real rim protection, and we were missing some outside shooting, and we were just young, and I think that really caught up to us, and we as a staff didn't do a very good job in the off season leading up to that year, getting that team put together. Playing in the Final Four put us at a bit of a disadvantage, because we were about 2 weeks behind everybody else once we got done with our season. And to only retain one player from that team, we were at a significant disadvantage going into the year, and our options were limited. But this year, I thought our staff did a good job of, putting together pieces that, we lacked last year. And, now it's on us to go out there this summer and get these guys ready for another difficult schedule.
When Luke was on with us a few minutes ago, he was talking about you guys in Vegas and with the NBA Summer League going on and everything out there. And I joked with him that you don't know if anybody in the Summer League is going to be eligible to come play college basketball still. Where are we in the rules? Like, how do you manage a roster? Like, do we even know if a fifth-year guy could come back and play now? Have they finalized what the rule is on this 5-5 from guys last year? Do you know if there's still going to be guys available in the portal, and do you still have room for anybody to add to the roster?
Well, the 5-5 rule is supposed to start this upcoming year. So guys on our current roster would be the ones that would be eligible, to pick up that extra year. What's currently happening, as you've seen in a couple states like Ohio and a few others now, is they're getting injunctions, and they're getting judges to rule on their behalf to grant them that extra year of eligibility. So, like you said, there could be guys currently in the summer league playing right now that if they don't love their situation going into next year with that NBA squad, could do the same thing and could try and get an extra year of eligibility. So for us, like, we just gotta kind of roll with the punches and take it all in stride. And you can't overreact to anything, and you can't be surprised by anything, because as we've seen, whether it be the kid at Baylor or Bediako or other situations, like, anything can happen. So you just got to be flexible, you got to be on your toes. And for us, we tried to put a team together that we wouldn't have to be put in this situation in July, August, September, where we have to go re-recruit somebody out of, whether it's summer league or whatever it may be, out of the court systems to bring them in and have them play for us. So I like the group that we've put together so far. We have a roster spot available, but I don't see us bringing anyone else in at this point, just because I like our depth, I like our pieces, and we're going to roll with what we got right now.
Stephen Pearl is with us, the Auburn head basketball coach, and they will be part of Ballin and Boutwell. They will play Florida State. You can get those tickets for the Wednesday, October 14th, 7 o'clock Central Time tip at ballinandboutwell.com or at Ticketmaster, ballinandboutwell.com or at Ticketmaster. Auburn, Florida State in a preseason game. Great atmosphere. It's such a fun time. And if you've got kids, this is as close as they're going to get, unless you buy them courtside tickets down at Neville, because you're right on the action there. So it'll be a fun event. One guy you do have on this roster is Narcisse Ngoy, and apologies to Narcisse if I get his name wrong, but I'm told that's how I should pronounce it. I
Good
know.
job.
I thank you very much. I can do some things well, very few, but some. I know it's an issue when you recruit these European players that sometimes the height isn't what you thought it was, the size isn't what you thought it was. When you got him to Auburn finally, legit 7 foot, is he a legit 7 foot guy?
Yeah. He's every bit of it. He's a big boy. And he obviously had a tremendous end to his season. And he's 7 foot, 7'1", 285, and he moves really well for a big fella. And he's only been playing basketball for 4 years. And, for him to get drafted, late in the second round by the Clippers, that just kind of shows the progressions that he's made, over the last 4 years. And, just in the first couple weeks of practice, he's made a lot of strides. And for him, it's just about, him getting in as good a shape as he possibly can. I think him and Buki have a chance to really be, a really a real force at that 5 spot for us. And, had a good practice this morning. And, he definitely came off the plane the size that we thought he was, which was great. And he's been working hard, and he's a little devastated that France got beat yesterday by Spain, but he's working through it right now. But he's been great.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah. Was he a little blue, if you will, at practice this morning?
Yeah, I was like, "You okay? Do we need to talk?" He said, "Can I take off practice?" I'm like, "No, Narcisse, you can't." He was joking, but he was trying to work it as best he could. But no, he's great young man, and we've enjoyed him for these first couple weeks.
Did I read this the right way, though? When he landed in Auburn, that's the first time he'd ever been in Auburn, right? Like, you guys didn't bring him in on a visit. I mean, that doesn't happen when you're recruiting a lot of these European kids.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Narcisse's agent for a while, and we had been recruiting Narcisse for since December, January of this past year. And, we had been in communication with him on the prospects of him potentially, coming to college. And, we watched a lot of his film, and we got a lot of evaluations from different people overseas. And we went over there, our staff went over there a couple times to watch him play, to visit with him and his family, to spend some time with him. Because during the season, it wasn't possible to get him over here for a visit. So, a lot of it was through Zoom presentations and phone calls and WhatsApp, messaging and stuff like that. And, on these international kids, sometimes you're taking a bit of a chance just because you're not able to watch them as much, but there's tons of film on these guys. And, we just had to trust our evaluations. And, so far, they've kind of panned out. So he's been a great ad for us, and we're really excited about what he could do for us this year.
Just because we're talking 7-footers and rim protectors, former Auburn Tiger Walker Kessler, now a Los Angeles Laker. I know Stephen A. Smith does not believe in this experiment the Lakers are doing, but go back when he transferred in, and I know it was limited minutes at North Carolina, but he was like a 4-3 guy, and then we saw the immediate impact. Like, did you realize at that point this is a guy that's going to be a 4-year, $130 million player in the NBA?
Not right away. In high school, we knew that, he had tremendous potential just because of his ability to do things with the ball. Like he was a 7-foot guard in high school. Like he would put the ball on the floor to shoot mid-range jump shots. He'd step out and shoot threes. And once he got to college, he went to North Carolina, and he was playing against a loaded front court there at North Carolina. And, we were able to, get him out of the portal, after his freshman year. And it really wasn't until, I want to say like December or January until he really came into his own. He went down to Atlantis. He struggled the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season. And then something clicked, and I'm not sure what it was, but he just got his confidence going. And, I think he understood how to play with our point guards, with Wendell Green and Jabari and, Alan Flanagan in that group. And, he was blocking shots at such a high rate with both hands. Our offense was starting to expand. And as far as in the air, he's as good in the air catching lobs and catching the basketball as anyone we've ever coached. And the two guys that we, brought in this year with Buki and Narcisse, we showed so much film of Walker and the things that he did at Auburn to really pitch what we're doing, because, that's a unique position, being that tall and that big. How am I going to fit in the system? Well, Walker Kessler, fit pretty well, and obviously, just signed for a boatload of money and is going to play in the NBA for a really long time. So, I would say, once we got into SEC play and just saw how productive Walker was being, we knew right away that he was going to have a pretty long stint in the NBA. And, obviously just incredibly happy for him, his family, and, everything that they've accomplished, because, Walker's one of the hardest workers that we've ever had in this program. And it's just great to kind of see it all come to fruition for him.
That's my takeaway from this whole interview, that you're showing Kessler tapes to Narcisse and to see how it works in the system. That's fascinating. I like that. I saw where you and Gus won a golf tournament this year. How is the former football coach, and what's the key to success when you two pick up a trophy like that?
Oh, we played in a little member up at the lake. The only way I was going to go is if somebody like Gus invited me. You can't say no to Coach. It's just he's a competitor, he's a grinder, and we won our flight. We actually ended up finished second in the shootout. We did a great job of just brother-in-law in it. And when I played well, I was picking him up, and when he wasn't playing great, when I wasn't playing well, he picked me up, and when he wasn't playing well, I picked him up. So we just hung in there, we grinded, and our handicaps might not have been super legit, but that's just part of it sometimes.
That's what the rest of the flight is saying.
We had to get strokes for a week. No, I'm just joking.
But have you played with Hugh Freeze before?
Yeah,
the guy that plays all the time.
Yeah, Hugh's got 2 titles this summer.
I'm not going to be able to stand up to that, but it was a great weekend. I had a lot of fun, and really enjoyed being around Coach. And it's great to see him, being in this portion of his life, because he really deserves it, and he did a hell of a job, as a football coach. Was it
Willow or Wicker? Which one?
It was Wicker.
Wicker, yeah,
yeah.
Still haven't played it.
Yeah,
I know.
It sucks. We don't need any more members. We're good. You guys, no one else needs to join.
Don't move here. There's no houses in Tuscany.
Listen, I don't think we were offering to sign up and be a member. I think we were looking for an invitation to come play. I think
looking for an invitation. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see how the banter goes this year, and if we can get through a season without too many shots fired, we'll revisit this.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, listen,
we're on the clock.
As a 30-year veteran of covering the SEC, I'll tell you how the banter goes. You win, the media talk great about you. You're the best friend. You lose a game, they stab you in the back. That's the way it goes.
Oh, there's no doubt, especially in this part of the country. That's hey, listen, that's your job, man. That's your job. That's what you got to do.
We know you guys are a basketball school now, but how well have you gotten to know Alex Golish, and have you guys spent any time together?
Yeah, AG's the best, man. We've spent a ton of time together. Whether we're doing events, he checks in on me like pretty routinely, weekly. He invited me out to practice a few weeks ago, and we're trying to build that relationship as best we can and just kind of work in tandem. Because obviously for me, like football winning, it doesn't make my job easier, but it definitely helps. So for me, like I want football to be as successful as possible, and I think coach just gets it and understands like what he needs to get done in order for that to happen, and understands the schedule that he has to play. And it's a tough schedule when you got to play Alabama and Georgia every single year, right? In addition to the rest of the teams in our league. So he's going at it full force, and he's been incredible with me and my staff, and just always looking to communicate and check in. And I'm really excited to see the product that he's going to put out there this year. And I think he's the right guy for the job, and I think Auburn fans are going to be really happy down the road that AG's our head coach.
Ballin and Boutwell.com or Ticketmasters, where you get tickets. It is Wednesday, October 14th, 7 o'clock. Do not wait. This will sell out both nights, Wednesday and Thursday. Alabama plays Thursday. We'll unveil their opponent tomorrow on the show, but it's Auburn, Florida State, Wednesday, October 14th, 7 o'clock. That's a double header. There's a noon game for the ladies. The Auburn women's team will play UCF earlier that day. Sanford, Alabama, A&M the day before. The Auburn night will sell out. BallinandBoutwell.com, Ticketmaster. So get your tickets now. Just 2,500 seats, we're told. 2,500-ish seats. It's an amazing atmosphere. Really, really fun event. Coach, always good to catch up. We look forward to seeing you soon. And if not before then, that night in Boutwell Auditorium.
Yep. Looking forward to it, guys. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Good to see you, Coach. Thank you very much. That is Stephen Pearl, the Auburn basketball coach, with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline.
You walked on the War Eagle.
I did. I did not know he was coming with that. My apologies.
When's the last time you met an Auburn coach that didn't?
They always do it.
Yeah.
They always do it.
Do you start talking before the pastor says amen on Sundays?
Depends on how long he goes on the sermon.
Hey,
Depends on what time the Dolphins get.
The show being brought to you by our friends at Odie's. It's Wednesday. That means it's trivia tonight as well.
Yeah, Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night, the original location in Crestlawn. If you're looking for live music, they do that every Friday and Saturday night at both locations, including the newer location right there on Broadway in Edgewood and Homewood. Stop in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Fantastic food from Rodney Davis over 4 decades now. From the wings, the burgers, the sandwiches like that Diablo sandwich, ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light, inside or outside on that great patio. Good place to watch World Cup today. Stop in, though. Go see our friends. Birmingham Institution. It's Odie's Tavern.
Inverness Country Club, your club home in Birmingham. You're looking for a place to play in Birmingham and make it your club home. It is Inverness Country Club. ICCalabama.com. ICCalabama.com. Or call our friend Erin. Erin Hilliard is her name. Terrific person. You'll love talking to her, and she can set up that tour for you. 205-991-8608. 205-991-8608. What you're going to see is a beautiful golf course there in Inverness. You're going to see that beautiful clubhouse with the great food. The tennis facility, state-of-the-art. It is world-class. It's just undergoing a renovation. You're going to see the people there at Inverness who are amazing. That's the best part about it, that resort-style pool with the cabana. I just could go on, but I don't want to because I want you to go see it for yourself. ICCalabama.com or 205-991-8608 for Inverness Country Club. The best days happen at Inverness Country Club.
When we have the Auburn audience with us here, did you see the details released yesterday? Multi-million-dollar NIL deal with Auburn football for the game they moved, the Baylor game, to Atlanta. We knew that they would get paid for it. I don't know if it was reported that this is going to be like the Players era basketball in Las Vegas, where this is direct to the player NIL money that Auburn is getting for playing this game in Atlanta, moving it off campus and playing it over at Mercedes-Benz with the Peach Bowl folks. This is, I think, the first college football game where it is NIL driven directly to the players that are playing in the game.
And that's not the way I initially understood it. I thought it was just going to go to the NIL, which is eventually going to go to the players anyway, so you may as well cut out the middleman and just say, hey, we're giving this money to the players. And if you're Auburn, it helps your NIL because that's less I got to carve out for this current set of players.
I mean, it does make it digestible for the fans because, they want the game in Jordan Hare, but
it is controversial. I mean, they do want the game in Jordan Hare. And I tell you, I happen to know some Baylor fans, and they're upset about it because they're like,
they want to see the campus.
Yeah, we played this game at our place, and our hope was to come to a great SEC stadium, great atmosphere, and now we're going to go to a sanitized pro stadium.
Well, what's cool about it is that current, I think 18 of them are going to be asked to post on social media and do some promotion for the game like that, and they'll get direct payments for playing in this game. And I will use this in the Peach Bowl. The folks that run the Peach Bowl put this event on every year, the kickoff. Auburn's played in it before. I think they played Lamar Jackson's Louisville team one year.
They did.
In this event. This is what the bowls need to become. This is what the Peach Bowl is doing with this kickoff game is what eventually we need to do with the bowl games, where the players that are actually on the team are getting paid to play in that game on the bowl side. Like if you've got to go to Tampa and play what used to be the Outback, whatever it's called now, if you got to go to Orlando and play what used to be the Citrus Bowl, whatever it's called now, then you're getting NIL money to play in that game. Whatever you've got to do, make a post, promote the game, whatever, the players that are playing in that game should get direct money.
Yeah.
On top of the NIL, you're already getting paid.
Don't have a problem with this. And you wonder, the first guy we really see opt out of a bowl was Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you could have incentivized him enough.
Maybe not, but I mean, if it's going to be really interesting if you've got a 20-year-old turning down $250,000 to play in a Citrus Bowl. But I agree with you. I mean, why not compensate these guys?
I mean, McCaffrey knew he was a first-round pick. I mean, I don't think there's enough money to make a guy like that play. But you've seen some of these guys that are maybe even not draftable. I mean, they don't even know if they're going to get drafted. For $250,000 might turn their head. Now, I don't know that it'd
some
be
of them
that
are going
big.
to the portal. I'm going to go ahead and go to the portal. I'm not going to wait until after our bowl game. I'm going to go ahead and find my next home. And maybe this would, keep some of the roster around.
I'm with you. It would make, and now here's what I would like is, I don't know that you could ever get the money big enough because you're talking about a lot of players on these two rosters. But the winning team slices up X amount, the losing team slices up X amount. Now,
that makes sense too.
I don't know that we'll ever get to that point, but I would like that more.
Did you notice the part that I took out of the ESPN and the Auburn story yesterday about this kickoff game? There's no mention of Baylor players getting any of the money. I think it's just Auburn players that are getting the NIL money.
They're the ones that move the game.
Because they were the ones that moved the game. I think Baylor, is probably in their contract that they were allowed to move it, or they got compensated somehow to move the game. But I don't think the Baylor players are, at least from what I got from this, is getting any NIL money from this.
Boy, if I'm Dave Aranda, I use the heck out of that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Like, those guys, they're having to pay those guys to play us. Guys, we're coming over here for free.
Let's take their lunch money.
Let's take their money.
Let's
make
take
them
their lunch money.
them earn every dollar of that money Chick-fil-A's giving them.
Yeah. All right. One more hour to go on the show today. That's being brought to you by our friends at Michelson. Viewing menu. Tyler's not here today. LT will give us something here. Tell us about Michelson. I've got one entertainment note myself.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. The call I made back in 2003. Asked for Amy Teller, the next round sent you. Dr. Mort Michelson, the first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama in 1995. I got the procedure done again in 03. I've got 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the call that I made. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com. So instead of watching the All-Star Game, I went back and watched Tuner again with Jack because he came over last night. So back-to-back nights I've seen this movie.
It's about a piano tuner.
It is about a piano tuner that gets involved with organized crime because of his ability to crack safes. And just musically, the way they cast it, the way it's shot, it's fantastic. It might be better than Project Hail Mary.
There was a piano tuner in Calhoun County when I was growing up that was blind. He was exceptionally good at it, obviously, because his sense of hearing was so acute. But he was a blind piano tuner.
Well, this one's got hyperacutus, which is the sensitivity to louder sounds.
Yeah.
And so he's a piano prodigy as a kid, but he loses that ability, and now he just tunes pianos. And Dustin Hoffman is his mentor in the movie. It's great. I loved it.
Yeah, and you've watched it twice.
I watched it twice
in
24 hours. Yeah,
wow, that's crazy. This was a post from Lad Bible on Instagram, and you probably know all of these, but so many movies that back in the day were set in the future are now in the past.
Yeah.
Have you seen this list?
I have not seen the list, but it's wild because you think about like Back to the Future. Like, I mean, just, certain movies on these years, Blade Runner. I haven't seen it, so I'll let you get into it, but it makes me think that, well, we're getting really old.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
You don't just think that. We are.
Back to the Future Part 2 was made in 1989 and set in 2015.
Yeah. We've already blown past it. Yeah.
Flying skateboards and all that
That's
in
right.
2015.
Was Jake Coker in the 2015 version?
Remember, now this was made in 68, but it was always a big deal when I was a kid. Space Odyssey was Space Odyssey 2001.
Right.
And we've flown past that, right? The Purge was made in 2013, was set in the future of 2022.
Yeah.
The Purge.
I think people do believe we need a purge, but
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
The movie 2012 was made in 2012. Real Steel was made in 2011, was set in 2020 moving forward. And then the one LT brought up, Blade Runner, back in 1982. I mean, with hovercrafts flying around, skyscrapers and stuff, was set in 2019, which in 1982, that did seem like it was a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw that movie when it came out, and I remember being a 10-year-old and just being amazed by it, but thinking, like, if I'm fortunate enough to make it to 2019, this is what it's going to be like.
Yeah. And it's not.
It's not.
No.
I mean, there are similarities.
The
But
one that always makes me feel old, though, is when they say, if Back to the Future were this year, Marty McFly would go back to the 80s.
That's right.
Because, I mean, when you watch Back to the Future, it seemed like he went to 200 years ago, right?
That's right.
I just can't believe the 80s looked to our kids like the 60s did to us.
But it's totally different, though, based on that. Like, you guys didn't grow up listening to 60s music. Our kids love 80s music. So
they do, yeah.
And 80s movies. Like, a lot of this stuff does hold up.
I was at a wedding this weekend, and it was all kids that had just finished college. I mean, they were that age, right? This was straight out of college. We're just starting our career, and we're getting married. And that's the whole wedding party. And the band was playing 90s country, Brooks and Dunn, stuff like that. And they're singing every song. And I told my wife, I was like, that's wild that they know all this 90s country. I mean, that is stuff I grew up on. But they do. Lance is right. Kids love 80s songs.
I think part of it is that the age, mostly you guys, but me too a little bit, we're so media driven as we grew up, not with the smartphones and devices, but the music, the videos, MTV. In the 60s, you did, for our parents in the 50s and 60s, when we were in the 80s, they didn't really have that in the 50s and 60s. But in the 80s and 90s and the 2000s, we had that. And so it lasts longer.
Yeah.
Sticks around longer.
My dad used to occasionally turn on Oldies 106.9, the Burt and Kurt. You remember Burt and Kurt?
Oh, yeah.
Oldies 106.9. So I would hear some of that, Bobby Darin and Beach Boys and crap like that. But it sounded so old
It
then.
really did.
And the stuff we grew up on just can't sound that old to our kids, I don't think.
I bet it does.
There's no way
I don't
it
think
does.
so. Like Rockin' Robin?
Yeah.
Wasn't that like in the 60s?
Yeah.
I mean, it was
we
doo-wop, like sock hop stuff.
We didn't have
Terrible.
stuff like that.
Yeah. But now
You think Huey Lewis sounds like Rockin' Robin?
Yeah, but do
Or Rebel Yell, like Billy Idol. Like it's just.
but dude, come on, Eileen.
You harp on that song all the time, but it does sound a lot better than Rockin' Robin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does to us. I don't know about to our kids. All right. One more hour to go. The show today brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. We tell you all month long in the month of July, you can get by to Walk-Ons, 3 great locations, and help out the folks at Folds of Honor, Alabama. Folds of Honor, Alabama. There's a QR code on every table and at the bar. You can scan that. You can actually scan the one on our screen right now and go to the Folds of Honor, Alabama website. Every dollar stays here in the state of Alabama, helps out veteran families and first responder families. And we appreciate the folks at Budweiser, Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch, Adams Beverage, and Walk-Ons for giving you $2 bottle, $3 drafts every day, the entire month of July, benefiting Folds of Honor, Alabama. On top of getting the great beverages, make that donation and help out a great cause at Walk-Ons near you. Tattersall Park 280, Stadium Trace in Hoover, and over in Trussville as well. It's our friends at Walk-Ons. Game on.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Dump trucks, delivery vans, tankers, 18-wheelers, 35 types of commercial vehicles share the road with you every day. When one hits you, trust me, the company's lawyers are already moving. You should be too. Over $2 billion recovered. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. Don't wait. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys. 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next round shirts, next round hoodies, and next round hats are all in one place. Nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing next round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite next round gear by visiting Nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big next round fan in your life at Nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing next round gear from Nextround.store.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-29.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, final hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's, world-famous fried chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. That's Sterling's place for 11 years. He's curated this unbelievable dining experience. Get by there today for lunch, dinner, or happy hour. Take some home to enjoy over the weekend to watch the World Cup Championship. And, of course, in 46 days, you can use Champy's for your tailgating at Jordan-Hare or at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Sterling brines that chicken overnight. It's cooked to order. It is juicy to the bone. I'm a big 2-breast guy with all the in-house made sides, in-house made desserts, hand-cut chicken fingers, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It's all at Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com. 4 downs in just a second.
But yesterday at the U.S. House of Representatives, daylight savings time, never falling forward, springing forward, falling backwards, changing the clock, passed. It's out of the House. It's on to the Senate, Brownie.
And they say President Trump will sign it as well. So if it gets through the Senate, which the way it passed the House, I'm not sure why it wouldn't get through the Senate. I think it was 360 some odd to 100 some odd votes. So it was pretty. I mean,
I'd like to know who voted against it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I will tell you this. I'd like to know how many bills get out of the House with that one side of a vote on either side.
I did see
feels
somebody.
like everything's 50-50 right now.
Somebody on social media was like, I really enjoy it getting dark early in the fall months.
Yeah.
Who?
It was some rando.
Yeah.
But
now, I did see
some person who enjoys darkness.
Yeah, I did see somewhere some weather person was saying they will have a couple of 9 o'clock sunrises, 9 a.m. sunrises.
That's going to be weird.
It feels a little late.
In the Eastern time zone? Yeah, there's no way that's Central.
No, I think it was Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're as east as you could get on the Central time zone, and our latest will be 8, right?
8:20 maybe.
Yeah. So I guess that would be Eastern side of the Eastern time zone. I don't know what market it was in.
Yeah. But that would be 9:20. Yeah, but the Earth rotates.
I'm aware of how that works.
Darkness moves.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would say this. Now do Norway, where it's sunlight 20 hours a day. LT taught us this, taught that this week. Alaska, 6 months. I mean, we'd get used to it. It'd be okay having sunrise, at 8 o'clock for a few days. Wouldn't change the world that much, in my opinion.
Well, you guys could get in 27 or 36 places like that.
Oh, yeah, you could. I mean...
And you're saying that as a negative?
Yeah, that is certainly not a negative.
I'm saying you
my body
legitimately could.
My body would break down. It's gotten to where if I play any more than 18, I hurt the next day.
Yeah, that would be fun, though, and I don't know how many beach cities have this, but, that's one of those things, like watching the sunset on the beach, that's always fun, but banded beach day would be pretty awesome, too.
Yeah. I just think, who goes to the beach at
I don't go early.
9 in the morning.
Not me. I go late.
Yeah.
I mean,
I might go for a walk and then come back.
We were just at the beach, and it was me, Jennifer, my 12-year-old daughter, and 2 of her friends. So we had 3 12-year-old girls. We were not on the beach before 4 p.m.
Yeah,
any day. I love it late in the afternoon.
You could go to dinner and then go watch the sunset afterwards, which seems perfect.
Yeah, and we disagree on our feelings on the beach. I don't love the beach. You guys, I think, do. But when I go, 4 o'clock's the best time. 5 o'clock's the best time to go, really. 4 is still too early for me. From 5 to sunset
you
is
get
the best
soft
time.
hands. You don't get this leathery skin because I like to be out there between 11 and 2.
No, it's
Remind me,
miserable.
is it the texture of the beach?
I don't like
the sand.
You get sand everywhere. I'm kind of bored at the beach. Like, there's just nothing to do. It's boring to me.
God gave you 2 eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only see so much of that.
I can't believe we're friends, the fact that you don't like dogs or the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough combo.
Yeah. We're friends because I look past stuff like that in you, Lance, and I choose to be your friend.
Or red wine.
I'm not a big red wine guy.
No,
you don't. But he's coming around on bourbon, though, a little bit.
God, I hate the Rams.
A little bit. I know you do.
I don't hate the Rams. Yeah. When have I ever pulled against the Rams? Other than when they played the Dolphins, I've never once pulled against the Rams that I can remember. I saw an old TikTok. I get these TikToks of.
I don't pull against the Rams.
I know. I get TikToks of the highlights of these old.
People will pull against them this year, especially with Aaron Donald coming back.
I don't.
Maybe so.
Is he coming back? Is that official now?
I have heard that.
Breaking
now,
news.
what I don't want to see, I have heard it's going to happen. They're talking about him just playing home games. I don't think he's that kind of guy. I don't think he's going to pull a Roger Clemens.
No, you can't just play home games in the NFL.
I think
That's
would,
silly.
Yeah, I think that would. Like, I even think he would be all in on going to Melbourne week 1.
Yeah, I mean, I get it in baseball. You could get away with it, especially as a starting pitcher. But in football, just play home games.
If I could put money on, I would put whatever amount I would be allowed to put on right now that he will play.
Why not just continue to be in the shape that he's in, get into game shape, and then show up in November and be fresh?
No, I would rather, I think what they'll do, he'll get 12 to 15 snaps a game.
Okay, limited snaps.
It'll be limited snaps.
Okay.
But what I was going to say is I was...
Are all those third down?
Probably second and third, yeah.
I get, on TikTok, unless you change it, you watch one video and they're like, oh, he likes videos about this. So you get served all those up. but I get these old NFL primetime, and I don't even know what year I'm in, but it's like week 17 highlight or week 13 highlights.
Berman and Tom
It's
Jackson.
Berman and Tom Jackson, and they're so fun to watch because a lot of times you have no clue how the game turns out. So you're like, I'm figuring out how the game turns out. But one this morning was Rams and 49ers, and Berman goes, Let's go to Anaheim, the beleaguered Rams, losers of 6th Street under John Robinson. I'm like, God, I bet Lance was miserable. John Robinson.
I had the conversation with Forrester in the hall about because we were talking about the All-Star Game last night, and I said, I used to watch as a kid when Mike Sharpton was playing for the Dodgers, like they would get the one
guy, yeah.
And then in the NFL, they did the Pro Bowl like that for a while, where you had to have one representative, and I would watch the Pro Bowl just because my Rams were so bad to see one guy.
He called them the beleaguered Rams, losers of 6th Street.
They would send Jackie Slater every year.
I was like, I bet Lance hated those days.
Hey, listen, we love Joel Klatt on this show. Is one of our favorite guys. He put out an all-century team. We'll talk about that after Brownie tells us about Central State Bank.
The bank that is big enough to meet every need you have, but small enough to know you. They are a community bank. The people that are making the decisions at Central State Bank that impact your life, anything from buying a car to starting your own business, they are people that their spouses work in your community. They go to your churches. Their kids go to school with your kids. That's what it's like dealing with a community bank. The people making the decisions that impact your life aren't some stuffed suit in some city. They're people right here in Central Alabama. 6 locations throughout Central Alabama to serve you. It is Central State Bank. Big enough to meet all your needs, small enough to know you. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
On the Joel Klatt Show podcast, he did the all 21st century college football team. There was something the last time he was on. He said, that's good. I'm going to use it on the podcast.
I don't think that was it.
I don't know if he took our quarterback discussion.
We had just done something. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it may have been the quarterback discussion.
But he also told us he pre-recorded all his podcasts because of the World Cup. So
that's right.
He probably did this months ago.
Quarterbacks in a second. His running backs. So
this is just since 2000.
21st century, since 2000. Adrian Peterson's his running back. His receivers, Larry Fitzgerald, Julio Jones, Michael Crabtree.
Julio is such an interesting inclusion in there because he played in a more run-oriented Alabama offense than some of these other receivers.
Yeah, I think I would have gone Andre Johnson over Julio.
Would you have gone Devontae? Just Alabama, would you have gone Devontae
I would have
Smith?
gone Devontae for sure.
Yeah.
It's
just, but I think
Devontae should have. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald, I get, but Devontae should have
Heisman winner as a receiver. I think a lot of people look at Julio and like, yeah, but if he could have played in those offenses,
oh my God,
if he had played in the Devontae 2020 offense,
if you put him with Tua or Mac Jones or Bryce Young, what would he have been?
Brock Bowers, the tight end, a bunch of offensive linemen, including our buddy Barrett Jones, who made it as the
he
center.
put Barrett on there, good.
Yeah, and Percy Harvin as the athlete. But who do you think Klatt put as the quarterback?
So this is from 2020?
No,
2002 now.
Yes.
Who would you put? Let's just do it this way. Who would you put?
And it seems like we've done this already, haven't we?
I would put Tim Tebow just for the entirety of his career. How can you not? He won a Heisman Trophy, won multiple national championships.
But if you don't have to consider career, you could just say the best single season. Who would you put?
I would put Cam Newton for the best single season.
In front of Burrow?
Yeah, Burrow would be number 2. But I think overall career, if he went Vince Young.
It's not Tim Tebow. It's not Cam Newton.
Why would you say if he went Vince Young?
Because they beat him 70-10 and like he was bleeding out his ass and ears after that game. I'm just saying, just because they got beat by him, don't put Vince Young as your quarterback of the.
It's not Joe Burrow. It's Vince Young.
Wow.
Please, Forrester.
I mean, Vince Young was great, but like he wasn't better than Tebow. He wasn't. He was not better than Tebow.
Is there a chance we glorify
Klatt getting predictable?
Well, I mean, you just predicted it. There's a lot of quarterbacks since 2000. Is there a chance Vince Young was really, really good.
Oh, you can't deny that.
But is there a chance we glorify him more because of that one night in Pasadena?
Oh, there's no doubt. Like, it goes back to, you were the first to bring this up, and I agree 100%. Cristobal's run this year. He's on everybody's top 10 list. Vince Young, they don't close the deal against USC.
He gets forgotten.
Nobody talks about Vince Young in these terms.
Now, he doesn't get forgotten, but he doesn't get talked about in the terms like.
Well, he didn't win the Heisman, right? He was the runner-up, right?
Right.
Yep.
Did Bush win it that year?
Yeah. And now everybody goes back and they're like, Bush shouldn't have won it. And I'm like,
well, come on.
Because of this one game?
Yeah. Well, Bush wasn't bad in that one game. He had that one silly turnover.
I mean, look, that was a stupid pitch. I think the play calling got a little ridiculous because, on that fourth down, they went to Lindell. Probably should have gone wide.
If they were too good that they were nonchalant on certain play calls.
They really were. It was almost like France showed up yesterday against Spain just thinking they were going to win the match.
Yep. And that's what USC did. That's all we need. Yep.
That's exactly what happened. And, I mean, you guys, if you're listing it, you guys will go Tebow, right?
I think I would, but
it would be one of the three. It'd be Tebow, Cam, or Burrow.
Yeah.
Or AJ McCarron.
Just because of those, those seasons were exceptional. I mean, for Cam Newton to win a national championship with 2010 Auburn with the circumstances, with the head coach and Gene Chizik, that was just incredible. But because Tebow was so good for so long, I just don't know how you deny
that. In his career.
But he is SEC, and, he went Big 12.
All three of those guys were SEC.
Yeah. Well, now Vince Young, but I'm talking about.
But I'm talking about Burrow, Cam, and Tebow.
In his career, 9,100 total yards, which for a 3-year career, that's obviously really, really good.
Really good.
Was that Vince?
Yeah, 9,100 total yards.
That's passing, though, right?
No, that's total yards.
Total yards. Passing and
Lance,
running.
his passing, I'm about to use the word was only 6,000 yards.
In 3 years.
In 3 years.
I got to be honest.
He had a 3,000-yard passing season his senior year. Prior to that, or his junior year, his last year, 1,100 yards and 1,800 yards.
I bet Lamar Jackson's numbers are better.
Overall?
At Louisville.
So you think, now, did he play 3 or 4?
Lamar played 3. Now, the first year, because you mentioned that kickoff classic, I don't even think he started that game. He came in.
By the way, in one season, Joe Burrow passed for 5,671 yards.
He passed in one season for almost what Vince Young threw for in his career. Honest to goodness. That's not an overstatement. How many yards? 5,000?
5,671 passing yards, 60 passing touchdowns, and 6,039 total yards of offense.
He was 400 yards off. 400 yards off from Vince Young. So basically, Joe Burrow was one more game away from Vince Young's career.
Yeah, and, my buddy Chris in studio with us, Matt Leinart. Leinart was a better overall college quarterback. I know he lost that 2005 game, but he was a better overall. He won a Heisman.
Yeah.
He won multiple national championships.
Leinart couldn't play defense and stop that last play, that last drive.
Man, Lamar Jackson's numbers are crazy.
I know.
Good. I'd forgotten
won the
how good these
Heisman
were.
at Louisville.
I know that, but I'd forgotten.
What was it, an 8-4 team? He won the Heisman?
He had as many passing yards as Vince Young had total yards. He had 13,000 total yards in 3 years, guys. Let me say that again for emphasis. 13,000 total yards in 3 seasons.
It's Klatt's list.
At Louisville.
And I think I'm right about this. Yeah, you just went, if you don't like my list, make your own list.
Make your own list, yeah.
I think I'm right about this. Lamar Jackson did not start that Auburn kickoff class.
No, that's what Lance just said.
So you just said that, yeah. I was reading a Burrow stats when you said that. That's what's crazy. Who was the coach of Louisville then? Was that Bobby
P?
It was Bobby.
Yeah.
It was old Bobby P.
He's coming up on 4 downs.
Maybe the wrong quarterback started.
I wonder who started that. Do you remember who started it?
All
I remember from that game is you realize Jeremy Johnson could not read linebackers. As I remember, he threw like 3 interceptions in that game, and at least 2 of them were to a dropping linebacker, and you're like, what is this guy looking at?
Did they have a Nagy, somebody like that was quarterback at Louisville?
You're thinking of Browning Nagel. It was, according to what I'm looking at here, was either Reggie Bonifant or Kyle Bolin.
It was Reggie Bonifant.
Wow.
Yep.
Reggie Bonifant.
It seems like I could have showed up first day at practice and picked the right guy.
You would think.
What was Bobby P thinking? Reggie Bonifant over Lamar Jackson?
I think we know what Bobby P was thinking about. And it starts with P. That gets us to
not pigskin.
That gets us to our 4 downs. Before we do that, though, Lance, tell us about Crane U.
Yeah, our friends at Crane U want to remind you, if you are curious about a career in the crane industry, the first big step, getting certified, becoming fully compliant, Crane U is here to guide you every single step of the way. When you call them at Crane U, conveniently located in Leeds, for anybody in the central Alabama area, make sure when you talk to Nicole or Francis, you mention the next round. But Crane U is your all-in-one destination for crane certification success. They guide you through every single step of the process, from the comprehensive prep, both in and out of the classroom, to to ensure you're fully equipped for even the toughest exams. Then they are going to streamline your experience by administering both the written and hands-on tests right there at their facility in Leeds, so you can get certified with confidence and convenience. Inspections, training, certifications, whatever you need, Crane U's got it handled. It's the one call you make and you're good. For more information, craneu.com.
And I was on my way to work today. There was an area where they were getting ready to do a little road work, and I looked over there, and there's that logo of our friends from Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. I saw that logo right there, and I'm like, well, there you go. That was a big state job. The federal job, the state job, the municipal jobs, a lot of times you see that logo, Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. And it may tell you if they've got that much work at that level, they don't have time for your smaller job, and that is incorrect. They've got an entire division that does everything from driveways to parking pads to a parking lot for a church or a community center or a store or a restaurant, something like that. Just the smaller jobs, right? Those one-off jobs, they do those. And it's the same crews, same quality, same no-excuse standards. To get a quote, an estimate for your job, big or small, 205-349-0910. 205-349-0910 or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
So our 40 and 40 team today, the Illini. And by the way, I wanted to bring this up before I ask you guys this question, because we were talking about how often one of our buddies, Mark, sent this in on how often Bielema at Wisconsin would have been in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
For sure. Loucks were 2006, 2010, 2011, 2012. And very likely in 2009. So they estimate, according to there's some kind of thing that you go to for 12-team playoff now, he would have been in 5 playoffs.
Okay, my counter to that would be, in the playoff era, he would not be able to feast on the Big Ten West schedule that he feasted on.
Yeah, but he won 3 consecutive Big Ten titles.
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So even though playing in the West, he still was able to beat the East.
Well, 3 times. I just don't know if all those he would have had the necessary wins.
But even if you're the runner-up in the Big Ten, you're there, right?
Yes. Well, and keep in mind now, one of the Big Tens he won was 8-5. Would that have? I guess would have given him a berth.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
There was a reason. I can't remember. That was the leader. That was back when his leaders and legends.
Okay, so here's the question: former Arkansas coach, who has the better career, Bielema or Petrino? And I think it's Bielema.
Oh, wow. You're going to get your guy Bobby P.
Yeah, I really think it is, just when you look at the entirety of the career.
I mean, Lance.
But, I mean, Louisville days were good, too.
Arkansas was number 3. He had Louisville,
Yeah,
I think,
number 2.
Didn't he have number 2 in the country?
Listen, you can go apples to apples with this because they both coached at Arkansas, and Bielema was 29-34, 11-29 in conference, and Bobby Petrino had him number 3 in the country.
I'm not saying the
I'll
better
go Bobby
coach.
P.
I think Bobby P is the better coach. I'm saying the better career. The longevity of Bielema.
Yeah. I mean, Wisconsin years were better than Bobby P's Louisville years.
Yeah. Not significantly, but yeah.
I mean, I think it's really close. Again, I think Petrino's the better coach, but you throw in the scandal, too.
Yeah, I'm going to say Bobby Petrino.
I'll go Petrino.
I mean, you
better
had
career.
Louisville number 2. Is that when they lost to Rutgers? They were number 2?
That Thursday night.
And then number 3, Arkansas, when they lost to LSU on Black Friday.
And we'll see what he does as North Carolina's interim coach this year.
Yeah.
He may take them to a bowl game after.
I don't think
Belichick
there's
is fired.
any
Belichick
chance. Now, if he
taps out.
dies on the sideline, but I don't think he's going to get fired.
After Jordan tells Belichick we're going back to the NFL.
Yeah, better chance him dying in the bedroom than the sidelines.
You think that actually happens?
Wonder if Blue Chew was their sponsor.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
because it's got the color match.
Yeah.
Second down.
Is it called Blue Chew because of the blue pill? They just decided to keep the color.
I guess so.
I don't know. That's another one of these. I guess they're targeting the age, but I get that pop up on Instagram all the time.
Yeah, it's just the age thing. I mean,
Yeah, and some of the things they try to sell with it, I'm like, shit, I don't want that.
You get hooked into the video. They're like, so my husband and I were going, we got this funny story. And then he popped the Blue Chew. And I'm like, I just bet a total commercial.
So you're getting them too, Brown?
I am, Jim. No, I'm not buying them. I'm getting the commercials. Yeah.
I mean, AARP mails shit to my house now.
Oh, I started getting that when I turned 50. Yeah.
So more wins this year, Illinois or the Chicago Bears. I think this is in play because, the Bears won 11 last year, but it is the NFC North. You look at the schedule for Illinois coming off back-to-back 9-win seasons.
So interesting your stance with the Bears on that, because I saw you tweet, was it over the weekend, that they've got the 3 biggest stars? What did you say?
I think when you're looking at the 3 major leagues, when we're looking at the NFL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball, I don't think you can find a trio as young and as talented with as much potential as you get with Caleb Williams, Caleb Wilson, who will be a rookie for the Bulls this year, and Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yeah, you were saying like young talent, Chicago's got the best of any city.
I think they do. Like those three guys are all under the age of 25, and wow.
Is PCA having a good year?
He's having an incredible year.
Is he?
I mean, he is right now the second shortest odds to win the NL MVP.
Wow.
Best defensive player in baseball.
I have not watched the Cubs game all year.
You can tell.
Yeah, I thought early on I thought I saw he was slumping, but I guess he's rallied since then.
I'm going to go Bears. I'm high on the Bears this year.
I mean, it is year 2 for Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams finally seems like he got over the hump, but I thought Green Bay was down last year. I thought Minnesota was down. I thought Detroit was down.
Yeah.
Who's going to lose that division? So
well, I mean,
all good teams, maybe no great teams.
I don't think numerically, I don't think you can get 4 teams from a division in. I know it
seems like it'd be hard.
Yeah, I think you can get 3. I don't. Mathematically, it doesn't seem like you can get 4.
I think Detroit takes a step backwards.
I mean, so Dan Campbell will get fired if that happens.
Yeah, I think they'll take a step backwards.
You think they're going backwards?
And they were 9-8 last year.
Well, not backwards, but I think they stay at 9-8. So I mean, they're I think they're middle tier.
See, I'm with Lance. I think it's the Lions and somebody else battling for the division.
And mark me down as a guy that says Kevin O'Connell's a great quarterback coach, but he can't coach every quarterback in America.
You remember our NFL thing yesterday?
Yeah.
I thought O'Connell could get sneaky fired.
I will still take the Bears because I think that they are, a worst case, probably 9 wins. And even with that schedule, I don't know if Illinois can do it.
Yeah, I'll take Bears as well. Feels to me like it'll be Lions and Packers battling for the division.
Third down.
I mean, we're talking about our age. Bryce Underwood celebrates a birthday today. How old do you think the Michigan quarterback is?
19.
He's 19 years old today.
19 years old.
It's crazy.
I mean,
all that money he's made at 19.
That's great. Jack will be 19 in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just nuts. He's only 19 years old. But if I asked you more total touchdowns this year, Bryce Underwood or Byron Brown at Auburn?
I thought you were going to go Bryce Young at Carolina.
Would take Bryce Young.
I think I'll take Bryce Young. And
I think
I'll
I'm going to take Byron
Brown on this. I'm not a big Bryce Underwood believer, and I don't know how big a believer I am in Byron Brown, but he's played better than Bryce Underwood has.
Well, I just know you're going to get more, at least on the ground, from Byron Brown.
Yeah.
He is much more experienced. I think there's going to be a big bounce back in year 2 for Underwood, but I don't know if he'll put up the numbers Byron Brown does.
With their offensive line and running backs, you would expect Michigan to continue to run the ball. Whittingham doesn't shy away from physical approach of coaching football.
Yep.
So, maybe the opportunity to sling it around a little bit more in the goalish offense. I'll go Byron Brown.
Fourth down.
On this date in 2006, something launched. Do you guys know what launched in 2006?
2006, let's see. I became a member of Twitter in 2009.
You're on it. I mean, it's
is
Twitter.
It Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was going to ask you guys. Yeah, Jimmy Current. He was the first.
I'm surprised it took you 3 years though.
I didn't get on until 2013, but I do remember roundabout what my first tweet was about. I didn't understand what Twitter was about. I remember I was at the Floribama, and I tweeted out something. It was during the British Open at the Floribama. I forgot exactly what it was. But do you guys remember your first tweet?
I do. This is funny because I remember Jim was on, and this is back before we were all together. So we're doing AM radio, and Dunaway's selling me on the fact, and he was right about this, is like, hey, listen, you getting on here is going to be good publicity for our show. It'll be like, I think he even told me this will be the AP wire of the future. Like news will break on Twitter and people will be here all the time. And you were absolutely right about that.
And we could use it faster than phone calls.
That's right. Yeah.
Did you buy stock in it?
I did not. I did not. I went to watch Argentina play England.
He's not listening to us, so it doesn't really matter.
So I remember, I got on it, and the first thing I did, I think right after I got on it, Auburn or Alabama one got a commitment. And I'm like, well, if news is going to break here, I'm going to do all these recruits. And then it was like one every day. I was like, I am so tired of recruiting. It's the last thing I'm going to retweet. Yeah. So I think my first one was one of those two getting a recruit. And that was my very first tweet.
I remember exactly what my first tweet was, shit titty damn.
How y'all doing?
Was it Roll Tide? Seriously?
I don't remember what my first tweet was. When it celebrated an anniversary, I forget what year it was. It actually showed you. It sent you a update on what your first tweet actually was.
Oh, wow.
And that might not have been my first one. I just remember that in my head thinking, well, if this is going to be the news breaking center of America, recruiting's big for our audience, I'll just retweet all these recruits. And it took me about 3 to like, oh, boy, I am tired of this.
Yeah, I kind of wish we only had one social media platform. I know that's kind of ridiculous for me to say because we're on all these social media platforms. But, there was something about Twitter before you really got to Instagram.
Yeah.
Like everybody was using Twitter, and,
That's right.
and it seems like some people have gotten away from Twitter.
See, I've just never loved Instagram. That's the one I've never been
The
able
only
to
thing
get
I
in.
like Instagram about is, and I've said this before, is it's like a photo album. So I'll post it where I've got it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, TikTok's my go-to. I just get addicted to that, though. That's just because it's the way it's designed. It's designed to addict you.
And that's all I got.
Yeah. By the way, I just did the robot here. The exact content of Birmingham sports broadcaster Jim Dunaway's very first tweet is not publicly documented.
It's I need a Freedom of Information Act.
So maybe I deleted my first ever tweet. But it goes on to say it's buried in all the tweets. I guess that's the robot saying I tweet too much.
Do you have, I don't know if Lance says this, but do you have sympathy follows? Like somebody followed you and you felt like you had to follow them back on Twitter? And then you occasionally check to see if they still follow you so that you can unfollow them if they don't?
I used to, somebody had told me early on that you could build up your followers if you did not have many follows, if you didn't follow that many people.
Yeah, more people would follow you?
It just somehow the algorithms worked where your name got out there more or something. Like the more people you follow,
right,
the less circulated your tweets got.
Oh, okay.
And I stopped worrying about that at some point.
Yeah.
Because it became very tiresome to go back and, unfollow, follow.
I'm just like, sometimes somebody follows me, I'm like, God, I guess I should follow them back. And I follow them, I'm like, I don't really care for their content. I don't read it a lot. It just gets in my way.
Mute them.
So, I either will mute them or occasionally I'll just check and make sure they still follow me. And the day I see they don't follow me, I'm like, oh, great, unfollow.
Yeah. I feel bad. The first guy I unfollowed died recently.
Oh, you never got to apologize?
Like Brandon.
He tweeted too much.
Brandon Walker of Barstool follows me. And I didn't know that today until I thought I followed him already.
Yeah.
And I went to send him a congratulations.
What'd he do?
He's starting his own, like Josh Pate. He used Josh Pate as a reference, and Pate sent it out was where I saw it. And which should have been my first clue that I don't follow Brandon.
So he's leaving Barstool to do this?
I don't know if he's leaving or if he's starting his own Barstool show, but he's leaving the one he does with Casey, whatever her name is.
Yeah, Casey Smith.
Casey Smith.
Boy, he is not the most likable guy, but
yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
No, but he has carved a
he likes
career.
I'll say this, though, he loves college football and he talks about it, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, but he said he goes in his comment, I want to move back to Mississippi someday, and if I only have shows that are here in Chicago, I will never be able to move back in Mississippi. So he may be leaving and doing this on his own.
I'm going to say the cost of living is a lot less.
I would say.
Yeah, but he's a Mississippi guy, so congratulations to Brandon Walker. And that's our 4 Downs today, brought to you by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt and also by our friends at Hemphill Services. Tell us about Hemphill as we head to break.
Yeah, 205-229-2090. It's never ideal if something goes wrong in the house, whether it's plumbing or maybe the AC is running a little too much right now. If you experience any of these issues in your home or business, you've got the guys that Birmingham has trusted since 1954 awaiting your call. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
When a motorcycle accident turns your world upside down, who's going to look out for your family while you're healing? Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys is here for you, fighting for injured riders and getting families the compensation they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait. Call 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, We are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone, the New York Butcher Shop.
For all of your IT
quality,
and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
All right, LT will be in with us in just a second with Trash. He rolls in here now. I will tell you the show being brought to you by our friends at Champy's, world-famous fried chicken, champyschicken.com. Go by there and enjoy Sterling and the crew. Just a great time, lunch and dinner. It's a destination lunch location. What do I mean by that? Well, if you got outsiders coming to town, especially from the north, and they want good Southern food, you get it right there. The Southern fried chicken, the Southern sides, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. But a lot of you today and tomorrow are going to pack up. You're going to ride down to the beach, and you're going to get about 10 minutes, 8 minutes south of Birmingham, and you're going to hit traffic. And you're going to say, I'm hungry, and we're stuck in traffic. Well, just get that Alabaster exit, or before the Pelham exit, and then go the back ways and get to Champy's Chicken, enjoy a great lunch, and then work your way on the back roads down to the beach. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster.
By the way, my recommendation is always to hit Champy's. Just come on home Friday night. Like, I know you've already paid for that night, but
it is easier.
Much easier.
It's tough to talk yourself into it, and especially the kids.
I always taught myself to do it this way. Is like, what are we going to do? We're going to wake up Saturday, load the car, and come home.
That's right. Pack up and go.
Yeah, that's a wasted day.
Yeah, and you're going to fight traffic. If you come back at night, you ain't got to worry about it.
Yep.
I always like driving at night, and you get the whole day in.
Yep.
If you got younger kids, get them showered and bathed.
Yeah, they'll sleep on the way home.
Yep, and drive on home.
And it's better than that traffic, I promise you.
That is the professional way to do it, Brown. Good call there. Before we do trash, is there an advantage to being one of the highest college football programs when it comes to valuations. The Wall Street Journal published the top 10 college football programs as far as what they're valued, their valuations. Quick synopsis on what valuation is, Brandon?
I mean, this would be essentially what they're saying is if college football programs are sold on the open market, this is what that program would be worth. This is what their worth would be on an open market.
From the Wall Street Journal, number one top valuation in college football, Texas. $2.19 billion is what Texas is valued. Now, we just sold the Seattle Seahawks for $9 billion. The Commanders were sold for $5 billion, or $6 billion recently. So the top college football program is valued at $2.19 billion. You always have to pay more than what the valuation is. So if we were going to sell a college football program, it's going to be about $3 billion for a top-tier college football program.
Yeah, I mean, that's believable.
I'll put it in perspective. Well, hang on. Go ahead.
But, I mean, a lot of that is licensing and merch and everything Texas.
Texas A&M is two at $1.59 billion, according to the Wall Street Journal. Ohio State is third at $1.54 billion. LSU also $1.54 billion at fourth.
You know, somebody asked me yesterday, what do you think the top 5 jobs are in college football? And I mentioned A&M could be one of those jobs possibly, but I wouldn't think the valuation of the program, you don't see any, there's no buzz. Back to the merch, and I don't know how important that is.
But Kyle Field is a great updated stadium, so that has something to do with it. You're in the SEC. I don't know what else goes into the valuation.
But this is athletic department valuation or football program?
College football program.
Okay.
Yeah, programs only in college football.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, Ohio State, LSU, Georgia fifth at $1.47 billion, Michigan sixth, $1.46 billion. Notre Dame seventh, $1.41 billion. Surprised me Notre Dame's that low. Penn State eighth at $1.41 billion. Alabama ninth at $1.4 billion.
I'm telling you, if these things went up for sale, they would sell. I mean, it would be crazy because if I had that kind of investor money and I was one of these groups, I would just look back at the NFL. I mean, everything is trending in the direction of the NFL. It will never get that big, but that is going to be a safe investment, in my opinion.
But if these numbers are at all accurate, look how profitable football programs would be if they didn't have to support all the other sports. I mean, that's what you're learning from this number, right? Is
that's right.
If you could just peel off Alabama football or LSU football and sell it to a private equity,
yeah, I mean,
how profitable it would be if you're not paying the freight for everything else.
Do you think we get to a point of private equity?
Yes.
If we get to this Super League, where all the other sports play in a regionalized conference, and then there are 2 super leagues that are like the NFL, then private equity could own these football programs.
Do we ever get to a point where Texas has got a better valuation than the Cleveland Browns?
I don't know, Lance.
He was looking for, the lower end of the NFL.
Probably the Jacksonville Jaguars is going to be your last.
Yeah, I mean,
think.
The top 50 pro franchises only got you to $4.5 billion.
I was going to say the worst NFL franchise was going to be $4 billion is what I was going to say.
And I'm almost positive it's got to be Jacksonville.
According to Sportico.
Could be New Orleans.
Number 32 is the Bengals at 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5
Jacksonville's at 5.57, so they're barely out of the basement.
Where's New Orleans?
New Orleans is 30th at 5.63.
Yeah. And you got an older venue down there and no signs of building a new one. I gave you 9 programs. Who's the 10th? If you have looked in the chat room.
I have not.
Did you already do Alabama?
Yeah, Alabama's 9th.
Have you done Florida?
I have not done Florida.
I'll go Florida.
It's not Florida. I'm saying this because it's going to be hard for you guys to get to.
Oregon's already on there?
Oregon's not mentioned. It's not Oregon.
Is USC on
it's
there?
Not USC.
USC's not. It's not mentioned. It's not them.
Damn.
According to the Wall Street Journal, number 10 at $1.23 billion, behind Alabama at 9, is Nebraska.
Oh, I don't believe this.
Wall Street Journal, what do they know?
The children of the corn.
Yeah.
All right, that gets us to Trash Today, brought to you in part by our friend Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorney.
Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. This is a Birmingham guy born in the city of Birmingham. Raised in Birmingham, went to school at UAB, and when it came time to start his firm, could have done it anywhere. Could have done it anywhere and been successful. $2 billion recovered. You can do that anywhere, right? He decided to do it right here in his hometown. Why? Because he wanted to take care of his community, and he has done just that. Whatever legal issue you face, Alexander Shunnarah is the guy you go to. Shunnarah.com. Shunnarah.com. Hit it, Cheese.
Well, you're one of the top players ever to play. Ever to play. Well, you got a game of Auburn. The game is easy when you got a big ass, Dick. I can promise you that.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. If you thought games of Monopoly around the kitchen table can get competitive, you haven't seen anything yet. Netflix are making a Monopoly reality competition show with a $2 million prize, and you can apply to take part right now. Now, the show, which is set to arrive in fall of 2027, will see 12 contestants immersed in real-life Monopoly Town Square. I don't know if I've ever finished a game of Monopoly.
It can take a long time. Now, do you play by the rule if you land on the property, you have to buy the property?
I don't remember. I haven't played a game in 20-plus years.
Is that how you play it?
No, I don't.
Well, that slows it down. Like, a lot of people play that rule. If you land on the property and it's available, you're mandated to buy it. If you, and then that forces people into bankruptcy sometimes. They don't have enough money.
Netflix did reveal it's going to play like a giant game of Monopoly where players have the opportunity to earn money, where they'll buy properties, negotiate deals, and hopefully stay out of jail. Like the board game, once a player goes bankrupt, they are limited from the game. Others will keep going until one person is left standing to take home the $2 million prize. Studio Lambert, who made Squid Game, The Challenge, has teamed up with Hasbro to produce it.
I could see where this would be entertaining, especially they'll have, you're immersed in it. So they've got all the things as you walk around the board and being put into jail. That'd be good TV.
Yeah.
See,
community chest. I have to open a chest to see what I get out of it.
I don't know if you guys ever scroll on Netflix, but now you've got like interactive games. You've got podcasts. I mean, you've got so many categories on Netflix now.
Yeah,
Just
you do. Like I know a lot
regular-
of the Barstool podcast. I like the biggest one they do. The Pardon My Interruption.
Yeah.
It's Netflix exclusive, I think.
For
the video.
I think it is for the video.
For the video.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's on YouTube or anything. I don't think.
So this is an update from the 65-year-old that was attacked by the bison.
Is he okay?
This is bad,
Uncle
man.
Jesse?
He wanting to own a piece of the game to commemorate the tournament's eventual winners can do literally just that. A new addition to FIFA's online store is a limited number of preserved pieces of the pitch where the 2026 final will be played. Limited edition collectible available through the soccer governing body's official store ahead of the final, though buyers will have to wait until after the final on July 19th to receive it. Now officially titled the 2026 FIFA World Piece of the Pitch Foundation Edition, the collectible contains an original fragment of the iconic final playing surface. You guys want to guess what this cost?
$100.
$99.95.
$450.
Get out of town. Do you know how many of those they can sell? That's a small piece of grass.
A lot, yeah.
Boy, FIFA will squeeze everything they can get out of this, won't they?
You think our man Tyler buys one of these?
I mean, he could if he really likes that game today.
I guess Argentina's going to have to win for him to buy a piece of the final pitch.
I'm afraid he's going to try to go to the championship game Sunday if they win.
I think
Once in a lifetime experience,
he's
guys.
had to have hit his limit at this point.
And finally, a woman from Atlanta has been going viral on TikTok after revealing that her boyfriend dumped her over an AI girl that she made to try and sell a table on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if I can believe this whole thing, but at this point, pretty much everyone has dabbled in using AI. It can make work task a little easier, and some people have used it for companionship on the latter part. Some have used it to generate models that they use to try to attract more attention to things on Facebook Marketplace. Invent it. Do I need to create an AI for Lance's luck?
Why not?
You could sell some pins.
There was a... I thought it
Yeah.
was a singer. I thought it was a singer being interviewed by either Kimmel or Fallon. I couldn't remember. I couldn't tell who it was initially, but I was listening to the singer. I was like, "Gosh, she's cute. Well, I wonder what she sings." And I'm listening. And then I started looking at Kimmel and or Fallon, and it was sort of a mixture of both of them. And then I realized this whole clip I'm watching is AI generated.
Yeah.
It was not even a real singer on a real talk show. I was like, which set is that? It was sort of a mixture of the Tonight Show and the Kimmel set. It was a weird thing I was watching. Or I dreamed that. I can't remember which.
Yeah, it could one of the two, huh? On the AI thing, like there are AI videos on TikTok. And
that's where I was.
It's women talking, and you can tell pretty quickly they're AI.
They're getting better.
But they are getting better. But
Or
it's
I'm getting older.
But it's funny to go to the comments and watch people that have no clue it's AI. And they're like, honey, you look great today.
So this is the case of TikToker Savannah. She created a female model using AI to help her sister sell a table on Facebook Marketplace. It quickly became a point of interest for her boyfriend. So much so that Savannah revealed he had dumped her after calling the AI-generated woman conventionally attractive and falling out of love with her. Now, the TikToker's initial video has gotten almost 1 million views since being posted in early July. Followed it up with a bigger explanation of the situation. Quote, I think I didn't think anything of it. I sent it to my then boyfriend like, oh my God, how funny is this? We're getting so many clicks. It's going to sell. Nothing came out of it. But then that night he's talking to me about it. And he's like, that girl, that picture, it's giving me lustful thoughts. Who actually says it's giving me lustful thoughts?
She is a dog fan, though.
What's that coming down the track?
Went on to say she's so conventionally attractive. Boy, this guy's got some old lingo. That was Thursday all weekend. I was getting the silent treatment. Fast forward, he fell out of love with me because of an AI girl.
My bosom's all aflutter.
Yep.
I'm going to say there was probably something else going on here.
Mm-hmm. Look at what did the old people used to call legs?
The gams.
Look at the gams on that broad.
Oh, hey, how about the shot she took here? TikToker did add, quote, it was a matter of time before they broke up anyway, and joked that her next boyfriend needs to have a car and a full-time job.
Wow.
Oh, she did not.
Yeah, she did.
All right. That is trash.
I wonder if she sold the table.
That's all I got.
I mean, she's sneaky hot to be a Facebook Marketplace girl. No?
Now, which one are we talking about? The Georgia fan or the
real person?
The real person?
That's the real person on the left.
Yeah,
right?
real person on the left.
Yeah. All right. That's our show today.
I mean, she's no Sydney Sweeney, but
no, her eyes point in the same direction.
Somebody did want me to ask you seriously. Do you think Taylor Swift is more attractive than Sydney?
Oh,
Sweeney?
no.
Okay.
No,
okay.
no.
Somebody wanted me to ask you.
But I could take you to Floribama and find 10 people that are hotter than
Was
Sydney
it Britney
Sweeney.
Spears he said that about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all were talking, though, current Britney Spears.
I don't think we
and
were.
I said 100,
first of all, this is like
100
10
people
years
at the
ago.
Floribama.
Yeah.
10 years ago. We were in radio, which could be 10 years ago.
It was close to 10 years ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. We since have met the people to Floribama who agree with me, by the way. That is our show today. We are back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. We will hopefully have Tyler back on the show tomorrow.
He might be an Argentinian woman. You never know.
If not, Cheese is, you can't even tell whether Tyler's here or not anymore. Cheese, do you enjoy doing this as a summer internship?
Oh, yeah, I love it. I mean, it's been great. It's been the best summer job I've had.
Oh, wow.
Will you do me a favor tomorrow?
Yeah.
Bring one sports topic you want us to do tomorrow during the show.
I can do that. Yeah.
Okay. One less one we have to come up with.
That's right. One less thing Jim has to do tonight.
Yeah. Because I want you to contribute. I want you to talk more on the microphone tomorrow.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right.
do it.
We'll do that.
But make it good,
She's
as
big-
Dunaway would say, right?
It needs to be a good one. It's what I would say.
She's a big NHL guy. Let's talk about hockey free agency.
Yeah. I mean, my God, we talk White Sox. We might as well talk.
I never thought we'd talk soccer. Talk a lot of that.
God, I will tell you, as this winds down, we talk more soccer this World Cup than I ever
But
dreamed.
I told you,
I cared more about it.
A future communication student that is going to university in the fall, and I told him I really enjoy the World Cup more now than the NBA playoffs or Major League Baseball playoffs.
I think I would agree with you.
Now
this time.
Now, if it was every year, it'd be different.
and
Every
if it
4
was
years
if it was another country where I don't get them all prime time.
That's what I'm asking now. Well, none of these are prime. Some of these are
Well,
during
no,
the
but
day.
when the United States was playing, they were.
Yeah,
but I'm saying when they're playing in Bahrain, it's going to be in the
prime
middle of
for
the day.
us. I'll have me a cold beer in hand within an hour.
It is
Wednesday.
It's one of the things you told the student you liked about this job.
That's
is
right.
that,
Early cold beer.
Early cold beer, and you never know every day is going to be something different. All right, that's the show. We're back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.